I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Mostly cloudy skies, but still very warm for us this afternoon. High temperatures in the mid-80s, so we're looking at close to record highs. Mid-60s overnight tonight, and it's another warm day tomorrow with a high of 86 under mainly cloudy skies. Tuesday night into Wednesday, scattered thunderstorms roll in.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 277 points to 39,529. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. You're invited to Sanford's 150th birthday bash, Saturday, April 6th, 10:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock. This is a free event happening at Sanford Fairgrounds. Get all the details at Sanford150, that's Sanford150.com.
O'Connell, long diagonal pass to Horn. Jump shot and lay in the air. Good from the left wing. That's a three for DJ Horn. Ball knocked away. Middlebrooks, he steals it. Ahead to Taylor. Taylor, left wing to O'Connell. Shot in the air for three. Got it! Horn to the line, down the lane. Feeds Burns underneath. Puts it up. Good to foul. Since 1983. NC State beats Duke for the second time in the month of March. This time for a trip to the Final Four. Incredible.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. Those highlights you just heard, you know what game that's from. It has been 41 years since somebody on an afternoon drive radio show has been able to say into the microphone, the NC State Wolfpack are going to the NCAA men's basketball Final Four. 4+ decades since that word has been uttered in this frame to that exact wording. Congratulations, NC State Wolfpack. Final Four is something to be happy about, right? I know there's still more work to be done, and this one you get banners for Final Fours.
Yeah,
you get accomplishments. It's the top line on your resume. It is the thing that you will be most remembered for in college. And for that, State fans out there, actually all basketball, college basketball fans, sports fans, human beings in the triangle.
Yes.
We're opening up the phone lines. Heister Automotive Group hotline for your reactions to the story in college basketball this year. The North Carolina State Wolfpack, 9 straight wins. I believe it was 19 days in total and counting going into the Final Four. We want to hear from you, your reactions, your comments. Who'd you watch it with? How was it meaningful? Did you cry a little? Did you call up a long-lost friend and say, hey, remember the time? 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Heister Automotive Group hotline for your reactions to North Carolina State beating Duke and going to the Final Four. Can I say it this way? This is the only way it could happen for NC State. You knew it would not be. They would not take the easy way. That wouldn't be the blue-collar NC State way to do it, right? The basketball team had to take a page and then one up the football team, right? Oh, you had to end on 5 straight wins to make the Pop-Tarts Bowl. We see that. We raise you 9 straight wins to make the Final Four. We have to dig ourselves a hole and then dig out of that hole gloriously. Achieving high expectations, not their thing. Way overachieving rock bottom expectations, that's more the NC State way to go about things. And this is one of those wins, one of those games. The Final Four will be one of those moments where State fans will talk about it forever, just like 1983. I talked about this on the Pack Therapy podcast, which, by the way, there's a bunch of great coverage there. You should go check it out everywhere podcasts can be found, as well as 99.9 The Fan YouTube page. But this team had to achieve expectations under one of the most unbelievably unfair comparisons. Starting about, I would say, when they beat Duke in the ACC championship, everything State's done has been compared to 1983. It's been compared to Jim Valvano. It's been compared to Lorenzo Charles. Every single thing, right? It's starting to feel like 83 out here. It's starting to feel like 1983. Starting to feel like Jimmy V. It's like, what can we see if it feels like 2015 first? Right? Can we see if it feels like a Sweet 16 team before we start talking about a national champion? No. Feels like 1983. Imagine you're a songwriter. You write a song, and everyone's like, ooh, starting to feel like Let It Be. Starting to feel like the Beatles. Starting to feel like Abbey Road. It's like, whoa. Let me see if we can chart first. Let me see if we can get on the Billboard charts. They're like, nope, we're immediately comparing you to the Beatles. That's immediate. And then to live up to it and actually go to a Final Four. That's an unfair comparison that we put on them from the moment they looked like they had momentum, and they lived up to it. Congratulations to Kevin Keatts and that squad. I mentioned we're opening the phone lines, Heister Automotive Group hotline, all day today if you want to react to the story that is NC State men's basketball. 919-860-5326. 5326, that is the place to do it. We have Anthony and Creedmoor on the line. Anthony, the airwaves are yours. React away.
Good afternoon, Tim. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man.
What do you have for us?
I was a freshman in high school in 1983 when the run started, and I had just gotten accepted to NC State to enroll in the fall.
Look at that. So, what can you tell me about what you did and how much was it similar? Like, did you have all the nostalgia waves hitting you on Sunday night?
Oh, man, yeah. To be honest, I had some Duke blue-colored Nike Legends, and once I got it accepted to state, I put little Wolfpack stickers on the sides.
That's solid. I appreciate the call, Anthony.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's what I think is cool about this, right? First of all, triangle basketball has always been a thing. The allegiances and everything. My parents were in town over the weekend. They lived in the area back then, and we're watching the game, and they just start, reminiscing, and they're like, "Oh, remember when, David so and so? I forget the guy's name." Right, as soon as the '83 team won, he drove into town and went to the bell tower and excited and took all that in and was having a great time. And oh my goodness, and he was talking about the bell tower. And then as soon as the game is over, I check my phone. Our very own Graham Hill, who produces or co-hosts the Pack Therapy podcast with me, is tweeting, "I'm going to the bell tower." And I'm like, 41 years apart. My parents have that story. Their friend running down to the bell tower. I have a very similar story of somebody that I know running down to the bell tower. It's sports are funny that way. Jeff in Greenville on the Heister Automotive Group hotline calling in. Jeff, thank you for calling in. What is your reaction to the state game? Jeff, are you there?
You got me?
Yep, we got you, man. You're on the air.
Hey, I grew up a lifelong Duke fan on Tobacco Road. I was disappointed yesterday. Obviously, it's actually my birthday as well. And so I was super disappointed that Duke didn't win. But, you got to give all the credit to State. Just love seeing it. As a fan of the ACC and, rivalries and stuff, it's incredible to see NC State have that moment. So I had to text a lot of my State buddies yesterday and tell them congratulations. And I look forward to watching them this weekend.
First of all, happy birthday, Jeff. Second of all,
thank you.
That's very big of you. That's very mature of you right there. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for the call, Jeff. And by the way, the Heister Automotive Group hotline open for your reactions, 919-860-5326. I am surprised by how much I've heard that exact sentiment. A UNC fan, a Duke fan going like, well, if it's not going to be us, I'm glad it's them.
Yeah.
They've been through a lot.
I've encountered several Carolina fans who are like, this is a pretty awesome story. This is pretty cool.
It's kind of exactly what Jeff said. Like, disappointed it's not us. But if it's not us, they've earned it. They deserve it. Their story's pretty darn cool. We'll take one more here before the break. Randy and Creedmoor. Randy, thank you for calling in on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. The floor is yours to react to the run to the Final Four.
Hey, bud. Hey, Tim. Thanks for taking my call. First-time caller, long-time listener of the program, and of course, 99 the fan.
Well, welcome to 99.9.
Hey, buddy. I'll try to keep it real short for you. So, really, I got married in '83. Way before that, I guess it was 74. State won the championship with Thompson. I loved that crew, Monty Towell, and so forth. I've become a State fan. 78, Duke went to the Final Four, lost championship game that year, but I really fell in love with that team, so I was a Duke fan also. We moved from Virginia to North Carolina in 83. Probably about 2 weeks or so right after State had won the championship. I just remember watching State win the tournament, AC tournament, beat the great Michael Jordan, done that fabulous run, beat Ralph Sampson, got to the final, beat Ralph Sampson again to get to the Final Four, won that great championship against Houston, and then when I moved here in 83, real quick, Johnny Dawkins was a freshman for Duke 84, so I fell back in love with Duke again. So I'm a huge Duke fan. I am a Duke fan. I mean, I blue. But I've had two teams because I was a Wolfpack in my younger days. I loved David Thompson. He was my idol. I played him in the backyard many times. And like I said, then the 83 team of Alabama, how could you not love that team right to Cardiac Pack? And then I moved to this area, right, and had to have a team, and I pulled for Duke because I just loved Johnny Dawkins at 84. That was before Duke even got started with the great run and coach and everything. I couldn't even pronounce Coach K's name at that time myself. But anyway, just want to say thank you for letting me call in. But that's why this has been special. It just reminds me so much of 83 because if you go look at the seminaries that you pointed out, I mean, you've beaten ACC folk twice, right, within a couple of weeks span. Number one seed, or not Duke wasn't number one seed this time, but anyway, a favorite to get there. And it's just, against the first time when they won the championship in 83, double overtime against Pepperdine. Then you get the miracle shot with O'Connell here, against Virginia. It's just so many similarities. So I'm just really tickled for State, and, just go, hey, you went this far, go State, bring it home. I mean, I'm pulling for you, go ACC. And, again, thanks for taking my call, Tim.
Randy, appreciate the call. Do you know what's funny about that is I think of people like Randy. He moved here 3 weeks after NC State won the title in 1983. I assume the thought is like, I'm moving right next to a powerhouse, right? NC State's going to be winning how many of these while I'm living here? 41 years later, he's like, they might get one. they might finally get one. That's it's a funny way to go. Also, it sounds like his fandom kind of bounces around to players he likes. I assume there's a lot of brand new NC State fans because of DJ Burns. I was a State fan because of David Thompson. I was a Duke fan because of Johnny Dawkins. A Carolina fan because of Jordan. And now it's like, hey, I'm a State fan because of DJ Burns. I think there's a lot of fans out there, State fans for DJ Burns. We'll keep the lines open, 919-860-5326 for your reactions. More of your reaction, and we have to look at the game. How did NC State beat Duke to get to the Final Four? We're going to have that coming up. But first, I'm Tim Donnelly from my friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over. It's been over for a while now, but the celebration's still going on. You can bet legally on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, TIMD with no spaces, and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Just imagine if you took some of those bonus bets, maybe put them on a particular long shot to win the tourney that has been shaking everyone's world. Probably be doing pretty well right now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD, T-I-M-D, and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. More of your reactions to State's Final Four run, and we dive into the actual nitty-gritty of the game. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
9 straight elimination games that they've won. And yet they keep going about their business very workmanlike, and they have this childlike enthusiasm when they're doing it. Like, this is a fun basketball team to watch. They're the most fun team to watch in the men's tournament. The way that they play basketball, especially their intensity on the defensive end, I mean, how could you not root for NC State at this point?
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bo time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or a 2 bird dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
At WakeMed MyCare 365, we deliver convenience others only talk about. Every day of the year. Primary care and urgent care under one roof. Multiple locations, virtual visits, walk in or schedule an appointment online. From annual physicals and routine care to sinus infection, strep, or the flu, we couldn't be more convenient. Learn more about our kind of care and our kind of convenience at wakemed.org.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Planning for spring at Lowe's means big savings on outdoor power equipment, and Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Buy 1 select Ego string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get 1 select 56-volt battery free. That's up to a $299 value. Power through spring with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Ball knocked away, Middlebrooks, he steals it, ahead to Taylor. Taylor, left wing to O'Connell, shot in the air for 3, got it! From the left side.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're reacting to NC State punching their ticket to the Final Four, and we want the reactions of the fans. We want the reactions of maybe fans that have been fans since 1983. Maybe fans that were born since 1983 and either remember the last time or wish they got to experience their own version of the last time.
There are a lot of people actually on our YouTube Live actually leaving comments saying, I'm 28 years old and I can never remember feeling this euphoric about NC State ever. Another person said, 35 years old, never thought I'd see it. Boy, it is fun to watch.
I almost think the nostalgia from like a 35-year-old who never thought they'd see it, but had heard about it from their parents so many times, or their uncles or their aunts or their teachers or coaches so many times, and you just want that for you, right? You want your version of it. Now, I'm not saying this is the same because they haven't won the national championship, at least not yet, but it's still, you get a little slice. You get a little slice of it. The Heister Automotive Group hotline is open for your reactions. 919-860-5326. Terry in Durham will kick us off here. Terry, thank you for calling in. What's your reaction to the run by the Wolfpack?
My reaction is I'm very euphoric. I graduated from state in 1983. I was in Albuquerque when we won the championship. To this day, I wish I'd ran down and hugged Albano.
Hey, everybody was looking for a hug at that point in time.
I ran to the floor. They were stopping people. I didn't want to call them on to bail me out, so I stopped. To this day, I wish I'd ran out and hugged the man.
So you were in the building at that time?
I went to Albuquerque, yes.
And you were a senior, you said, that year?
Yeah. Yes, a senior. As soon as we won the game to go to the Final Four, the phone in my apartment rang. Is my roommate's dad. He talked to him. He turned and said, "You want to go to the Final Four?" I said, "Let me call my mother." And we went. It was an outstanding time.
So
I couldn't have bought my graduation present.
That is a fantastic congratulations present. So obviously you would have remembered 74, 83. You would have kind of been in the mix. Was there any chance in your brain that it would be 41 years before another Final Four for NC State?
No, not that long. But it was we were cursed. We gave Albano the shaft when all this stuff happened with the tickets. And I think we were cursed because of that.
But so do you think there's a lot of people that believe that? I'm not a superstitious person, so that's not in my nature. But do you think the curse is lifted? Is this like, did DJ Burns somehow break it?
If anyone could, he could with his personality.
All right, there we go.
Next weekend.
We'll find out. Terry, we appreciate the call. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you. Have a good day.
We do have to talk. We do have to talk about all of the curses and everything that either are or are not any longer hanging over NC State. Mordecai and Raleigh next up on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Mordecai, thank you for calling in. What's your reaction to the Wolfpack maybe breaking some curses, but definitely going to the Final Four?
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks for taking my call. It's very interesting that you're talking about the curse because that's precisely why I wanted to call.
Okay.
That first of all, you have to consider that Michael O'Connell shot, to
tie the game against UVA and send it to overtime.
That's absolutely amazing. So you know what I'm going to do, and I'm pretty busy, but I'm gonna get some time this week to visit Raleigh Memorial Park. And you know who's buried at Raleigh Memorial Park? Everett Chase.
Okay.
Everett Chase is buried at Raleigh Memorial Park, and his grave is facing Route 70. And the reason why he wanted to have his grave facing Route 70 is because he wanted to wave to the NC State players that were on their way to play, to play Duke and to play Duke, to play Durham, Duke, Chapel Hill, Duke, Durham, and Chapel Hill.
I saw this go viral.
Okay. I'm rushing my take here. But anyway, and then I'm hoping I'm going to have some additional time, and then I'm going to visit historical Oakwood Memorial Cemetery to visit Jimmy Valvano's grave. And I'm gonna make a prayer at both those graves. There's a higher power that's controlling this. There's something going on here.
Interesting.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I appreciate the call. I've seen you're not going to be the first one to get to Jimmy V's gravestone. There's already been some offerings and some tokens left there. I do think. The NC State faithful are looking for whatever help they can get, and as you're saying, maybe the higher powers involved, they're not leaving any stones unturned. Once again, Mordecai, I appreciate the call. You know what? There is an element of what they're saying, and what I mean by that is, when you go 41 years with things going against you in a lot of ways, whether it's your team not living up to expectations, bad breaks, and then suddenly you get Michael O'Connell shot, and then you get Oakland knocking off Kentucky before you even face them in the second round, and then you get a little bit of foul trouble help maybe that you aren't used to getting, and then you get DJ Burns with the banks and the shooters rolls and everything else. There probably is a part of you that thinks like there's no way this is just normal. So there's got to be something at work here. Maybe I should go make a some kind of prayer or some kind of question asked to the legend that is Jimmy V or another higher power. One more question here before we hit a break. Doug in Raleigh. Doug, thanks for calling in on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. What's your addition to the conversation involving State making the Final Four?
Yeah, so my son-in-law had an 8-way parlay going.
Love it.
And he needed the last two things to come in. One was Duke going over 63.
Okay.
And State winning by more than 11.
Wow.
And so Duke went over 63.
By one, right? It was 76-64, so you sweat that one out, and it was a 12-point win, and he needed by at least 11, so you sweat that one out.
Yeah, and then they fouled with 1 second left.
And actually, just that now we're in addition, like, what's the opposite of the SVP? Bad beats, like great wins? We're just talking about this.
Yeah, no.
Whatever. Jared McCain, I believe, shot like a 3/4 court shot for Duke at the end, even though they were down 12, and it hit front rim and almost went in. So there was. You are you a State fan? Is your son-in-law a State fan?
I have another son-in-law who got his master's from State, but I pay attention off and on.
Okay, so even as maybe fans, you were like, we're going to get the win, but first, before we celebrate, let's make sure this parlay hits.
Yeah, let's. Well, yeah, when Duke made that shot, it was like, well, they're just going to run out the clock.
Yep. And then they fouled.
It's done.
And then they fouled.
And they never showed the foul.
Well, what you can hear are frustrated gamblers all over the place going, well, you enjoy it because, we remember the bad beats, but that's a good win that you're going to remember forever. Thank you very much for the call. And
it was over $1,000 for a $10 bet.
Thank you for the call, and like I said, enjoy that win. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We still have a lot to get to, including the NC State women winning in the Elite Eight on a funky court.
Yeah.
Which is one way to describe it. There's details we'll get to there. And I want to talk about how they bottled up Kyle Filipowski. But first, here's Dennis with something for you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. I've been saying this for a while now. You want to win. There's been a lot of winning going on in this area, especially in the world of hoops. But if you as a hockey fan want to win, now's your last chance. You got to go to caniacsbike.com because my friends over at the Law Tigers, along with Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes, they've all teamed up together to give the Ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It's being given away this Friday, by the way, this Friday. So now's your last chance to enter to win. Go to caniacsbike.com. Again, caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this custom-painted beauty of a bike. Again, caniacsbike.com for your chance to win the third annual Caniacs bike. And if you win, let me know. We'll go on a ride. I'll get on my motorcycle, you get on your Canes bike, and we'll go on a ride together. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with more of your reactions on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326, and some reactions of our own to NC State making the Final Four, both men and women. Stick around.
The moment we've been waiting for has arrived. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today using code NEWNCBG. Then place your first bet of $5 or more. Win or lose, you'll receive $150 in bonus bets. Open to new users in North Carolina who are 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos or the promos tab in the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagamenc.gov. Tribal Casino Gaming Enterprise is a licensed operator by the North Carolina State Lottery Commission.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach. approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
St. Louis brought the world gooey butter cake. Now Bluebell brings us gooey butter cake ice cream. A cake batter ice cream with a luscious cream cheese swirl and gooey butter cake pieces. It's the gateway to the best in pints and half gallons.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your neighborhood Food Lion.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes. With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel, or peeks down at it for a glance, or just scrolls and scrolls? If so, you could be the next person to get into a fender bender, get a ticket, veer off the road, or even cause a crash that kills you or someone else. Enough already. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Get a great deal this spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a Trane.
Horn to the line, down the lane, feeds Burns underneath, puts it up, good, the foul. Two more for Burns. He's got 28 points now.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All day today, the Heister Automotive Group hotline is open, 919-860-5326. For your reactions, your bragging, your emotional memories, your familial connections, whatever you want to bring us when it comes to NC State making the Final Four. But right now, I want to talk about the game. How we'll get to the women, by the way. I know Dennis just, if you're watching on YouTube, just changed the graphic behind me. That's because we're mixing up the schedule a bit here. The NC State magic continued, and yet again, the second time you beat Duke, there's no more fluke arguments. There's no more fluke arguments. 9 games is enough of a sample size to say, no, this isn't just wacky March, right? You cannot chalk up what NC State is doing to, well, in one-and-done basketball, things get weird, whoopie-doop. Anyone can win on any given day, whoop-de-doop. 9 wins in 19 days is absurd. But it's like they beat Duke twice. Conservatively, Duke is one of the top 20 teams in the country this year. You beat them once, anything can happen on any given day. That's the ACC tournament. Beat them twice, big stakes on both games, high stakes on both games. It's not any given day. It's now twice. 9 games, you've won them all.
Both neutral site?
Both neutral. All of these neutral site games. 9 games in 19 days. That's not a fluke. It's not. It's proof positive that NC State figured it out at the last possible minute. But they figured it out. They are a much better team now, and they have been for the last however many days, than they were 24 days ago. They're not a bad team that's gotten lucky. They're not the 10th best team in the ACC that's had the ball bounce their way. Have they had things bounce their way? Absolutely. But when they do, they take advantage of them with skill. Everybody, like the Michael O'Connell shot, okay? UVA, ACC. What was that, second semifinal? Yes. If that shot doesn't go in, none of this happens. If that shot doesn't go in, DJ Burns isn't his biggest star. Kevin Keatts isn't as rich on contract incentives. DJ Horn doesn't get the moments where he's embracing his home city like he is. But guess what? That wasn't a game winner. They had to go win in overtime, right? That wasn't like those types of moments where the ball bounces your way, where you rattle in a game-winning or a game-tying 3. That just presents you with opportunities that you then have to go seize, right? Oh, if a good UVA free throw shooter doesn't make that doesn't miss that free throw, everything goes back to the way it was, and they aren't on this run. Okay, cool, but they still had to beat Texas Tech and Oakland and since then and UNC. This much is true. Right? I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, a 4-word sentence that is true. And this is not a fluke. This is not a one-off. This is not on any given day. Anyone can get hot. DJ Burns is unstoppable. He has faced a billion different defenders. He has faced a billion different strategies in these 9 games. You don't sneak up on anybody the second week of the tournament. Especially not when you were the face of the first week of the tournament. He just has moves, up and unders and post and spin and fake spin the other way, and he uses them to perfection. That's not a fluke. It's not. Do you know what's really impressive? Kyle Filipowski's 7'1", 7'2"? Got bullied by DJ Burns for an entirety of a game. And then Filipowski right here, as you'll hear, told DJ Burns after the game to go win it all. That is a Duke player talking to an NC State player post-game. This is Filipowski post-game.
Yeah, he was just showing love to me, and I was showing some love back to him. I told him to go win it all. I told him that he should be proud of himself. I'm proud of him for how much he's accomplished in these last couple months. He's just, even when he beats you, you can't hate him. So just showing some love to one another.
Even when he beats you, you can't hate him. Do you realize how likable you have to be to just end somebody's dream, and then they turn around and go, yeah, even when he does that, you can't hate him. Well, I could hate you for a couple weeks, right? I could hate you for a couple days usually, and then, we catch up in the off season. It's all respect. DJ Horn, filled with swag. That when they need a bucket, if they're not going to DJ Burns, DJ Horn's like, I want the ball and I'm going to score. He is that confident. Everyone else played their roles so darn well. It is repeatable. It is sustainable. It is not a fluke, regardless of what happens in the Final Four. You cannot look at the 2023-2024 NC State Wolfpacks run through the postseason and say it's a fluke. They have completely proven that not true. Shout out to and we haven't. What is it? We're 39 minutes past the hour. We haven't even mentioned Mo Diarra.
No.
Who's unreal.
It's been awesome.
We haven't mentioned Casey Morcell, who's the leader of the group. Haven't mentioned Jaden Taylor, who made some of the biggest shots on the run. We haven't mentioned Ben Middlebrooks.
Bull to China shop.
But has never seen a job that could be done with a hammer that he wouldn't want to use a wrecking ball. Yeah. He's like, yeah, we could gently hammer this nail into the wall, or I could bring in a crane and a wrecking ball and see if we can't do it that way. It's just this, and it works. And they all of them, and you throw in Horn and Burns, and you throw in they all come together somehow into a puzzle that works. It is not a fluke. It is the puzzle has come together.
The play for me that was a microcosm, or the sequence that was a microcosm of NC State in this run so far was Middlebrooks got a steal on the defensive end, gets the ball up to DJ Horn, or maybe it was Taylor, who finds O'Connell on the left wing, hits a big-time three-pointer, and then in that process, like as Middlebrooks is running down the floor once again after the steal, Jared McCain trips over him. Then Mark Mitchell knocks Ben Middlebrooks over, and he draws a foul. Then right after that, because State gets the ball back, DJ Burns gets a layup. So like that whole sequence was just here's Middlebrooks making a big defensive play. Two guys fall down after making contact with Ben Middlebrooks, including himself. O'Connell hits a three-pointer, and then DJ Burns gets a layup. Like that's a microcosm of all of it right there in one sequence.
Yep. And you could, I mean, like, were there trips and feet tangles during their season this year? You're darn right. Was there a few games they had to win ugly? You're darn right. Is there anything more pretty than DJ Burns' post moves? Not on a basketball court. Unreal. And like something like Filipowski, right? They just, that's not a fluke. Filipowski, how many times have I said it? Toughness needs to get ramped up. Toughness needs to get ramped up. Toughness needs to get ramped up. I stand by it. Guess what NC State said? If his toughness needs to get ramped up, that's an opening that we can use for ourselves. Took advantage of it. Got him in foul trouble. Fouled him out with 5 minutes to go. And if you ask Filipowski, he didn't foul once. He complained about every last one of them, even though he fouled out with 5 minutes to go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a good day for State fans. It is a good day for State fans in many ways, including they are now just the 11th school in NCAA history to send their men's and women's teams to the Final Four in the same year. It's happened, I believe, 14 times.
Yeah, 14 times.
UConn's done it 3 times. They're the only one with multiples. So they're one of 11 teams to send both of their units, men's and women's, to the Final Four in the same year.
Last time was 2017 was South Carolina. Men's and women's went to the Final Four. Ironically, who NC State women play in Cleveland on Friday,
Correct.
South
Yes,
Carolina.
Correct, which is a juggernaut this year.
Which I'm always for beating schools from South Carolina.
And if there's if they need motivation for how crazy could this go, just look at the men's team. You're a 3 seed. You make it to the Final Four, kind of makes sense. I'm sure a bunch of people had you on the bracket just by having a 3 next to your name. But now you're a dramatic underdog against a team that many see as a juggernaut in South Carolina. Well, guess what? Your men's team showed you the way. 11 seeds, underdogs, you can make the run. The NC State women's basketball team has run all the way to the Final Four, and they have every possible reason to put a massive chip on their shoulder. LSU versus Iowa tonight in the Elite Eight, which, by the way, you can catch on Buzz Sports Radio, our partner station, as well as the UConn versus the other USC, Southern Cal, in the later Elite Eight game for the women. LSU versus Iowa tonight. It'll be the biggest story in women's sports in a while. It's Caitlin Clark. It's Angel Reese. It's a rematch of last year.
Rematch.
All of the debates, all of the the First Lady invited Iowa to also go to the LSU celebration at the White House. There's so many stories that these two teams are linked with, and they also have 2 of the biggest stars in the sport in Reese and Clark. It's going to be a massive story. Meanwhile, NC State is we already made the Final Four. Could someone pay attention to us over here?
Punched our ticket.
Yeah.
Already.
Isaiah James, anyone remember? 7 of 9 from 3. It was a pretty cool moment. No, you're just going to talk about Clark and Reese? Cool. Chip on my shoulder. Even a little bit, you could say the men's team taking some of the spotlight. If the men's team wasn't making it to their first Final Four in 41 years, What has it been, like 26 for the women? Maybe that would be like, party at the bell tower levels, but they're like, oh, we partied last night. We might have to party tomorrow night for the men. Maybe a little less party for the women. That's up. Chip on the shoulder just got bigger, right? The most outlandish chip on their shoulder, the 3-point line in their Elite Eight game.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday's regional final, where it was NC State versus Texas, was played on a court with the 3-point lines on either end of the court, different distances. One was 9 inches shorter than what the line should have been at its apex.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say it was human error. Somebody, the little nail that they put in the ground that's supposed to be the line, like everything's based off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Human error, just missed.
Whoops.
Just a little off, almost a foot off.
How do you miss that?
How did no one notice until pregame?
Yeah.
Like the players are on the court. You got somebody walking around with a tape measure going like, uh-oh. If you looked at the top of the key, they inherently looked different.
Mm-hmm.
There was more space. It's like spot the difference thing. It's like this half, that half. How does that happen? Then the coaches got together with the NCAA and elected to play it anyway rather than delay the game to start for a bunch of reasons, one of which is we kind of have a primetime matchup. We want the time slot. We want all the eyes on us. We don't want to delay this game a bunch. That seems like a brutal decision to ask coaches to make in the women's basketball tournament.
Well, Wes Moore even acknowledged that himself. Like, he didn't actually want the game to be delayed. They said, all right, both coaches agreed to do it because he acknowledged the fact that, hey, we're on ABC. Yep. You don't want people flipping over to watch basketball and all of a sudden there's a court delay that's, might take an hour long. Yeah, you don't want to screw that up. So he was widely aware of this is a major moment for them.
I can't help but think of this. The LSU-Iowa game, it wouldn't have happened. Any of the men's games, it wouldn't have happened. And if they know, it would have been noticed and would have been fixed quickly. Coaches wouldn't have to make that decision. You know what that means? Put a bigger chip on the women's basketball team for NC State's shoulder. They're going to go into the Final Four with they're going to be walking crooked because the chip on their shoulder is so big that their shoulders will be slanted. That's good motivation. How does any of that happen? Well, Wes Moore, as you mentioned, you got South Carolina, and nobody's going to be betting on you. Bigger chip, it just keeps growing. It's like one of those Twitter things where they're like they put like DJ Burns with sunglasses on and say for every 100 likes we'll make the sunglasses a little bit bigger, and then by the end it's like he's got like 10-foot sunglasses on. It's like, all right, NC State women's basketball, for every, perceived slight, will make the chip on your shoulder a bit bigger. By the time they play South Carolina later this week, it's going to be the size of like a beach umbrella.
Carrying a log over here.
Yeah, exactly. It was a chip. Now it's no longer a chip. It's a tree. Congratulations to the NC State women, though, making a Final Four. Everything you say about the men, making a Final Four, it's the top line of your resume. You'll be remembered forever. They hang banners for those sorts of things. It's pretty darn cool. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You know what else we have to talk about being pretty darn cool? Being able to look at your haters, your doubters, the naysayers, the people that didn't believe in you.
All the stooges out there.
And go, and even the prognosticators, and maybe we're a part of this, that the predictors, and maybe we're a part of this, and say, you were completely wrong, and I stand on business. I stand on results. There's no argument here. Kevin Keatts, take your rounds, right? Do you see Kelly Oubre for the Sixers?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like the way the game ended, the refs, and he walked up to the refs. There were 3 of them standing there, and he pointed at them each individually and went, you're a bleep, you're a bleep, you're a bleep. Kevin Keatts should be able to go around to like Twitter trolls, certain media people. Again, I'll wear it. There were points in time we had complete segments on this show about does he have job security if they don't win the ACC tournament. And he should be able to walk up and go, you were wrong, point to each individual. You were wrong, you were way wrong, you were super duper wrong, you were a little bit disrespectful and wrong, you were wrong. Like, he should be able to do that.
Bleep you, you're cool, bleep you, I'm out.
Exactly. Because there was a lot of talk about his job. There was a lot of talk about his in-game management. There was a lot of talk about his ability to assemble a team. And now he is confident, he is paid, and he has job security. He just took down Duke for the second time to go to the Final Four. Kevin Keatts was asked after the Elite Eight if this is his best coaching job yet.
I've had some really good teams. And, for us, I would say something about all of my teams are really special. These guys are so special. I think, 9 now? 9 elimination games, or you go home. They're tremendous. Like, you ought to see us every day. They make it easy for me to wake up every morning and come to practice and work hard with them because of who they are as personalities. I would say this, I've learned more basketball from these guys than I learned in my entire career because they know how to work. They're great people. They work hard. And so, it's hard to say if it's my best. You'd have to ask somebody else, but I'm sure having a lot of fun with this group.
All right, ask somebody else. Dennis, ask me. Yes, it's your best.
Yeah, it is.
You took the 10th best team in the ACC in the regular season, and you're in your Final Four. You're in the Final Four. I am completely aware that Coach Keatts has done some good coaching in the past, that he's had good second-half runs. Heck, he had one last year. Nice little second-half run of the season, made it to the NCAA tournament. This ain't that. This is a level above that. This is better than that. And I think he is becoming a better coach because of it. Maybe it is the knowledge that this year is already a win, right? Like once you win the ACC tournament, you get the boost, you get the 2-year extension, you get the raise, the players get their legacy. He's just coaching a little bit more free and loose, but he has a healthy amount of bleep it right now. DJ Burns played 42 minutes in a postseason game. We looked up some of DJ Burns' stats from earlier in his career. At Winthrop, he was scoring 10 points a game. He was playing 15 minutes. That was earlier in his career, right, when he was youthful and full of energy. That was like 4 years ago. He was playing 15 minutes. They couldn't play him more despite the fact he was shooting almost 60% from the field. Kevin Keatts said, bleep it, I'm playing him 42 minutes in a postseason game. By the way, there's only 40 minutes in a college basketball game, so he played the equivalent of like 106% of a game because he played in overtime. I say this about quarterbacks all the time. I love a quarterback that's been benched, that like a month later, whoever he was benched for gets hurt and he comes back into the game and he's like, what are you going to do to me? Right? There's nothing you can say that I haven't heard. There's nothing you can do. What are you going to do? Bench me? It's happened. It's almost like all the rumors about his job security. And then he comes back and he gets to wave it in the face. He's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to let it fly back here because you've already talked about my job. I've already won. I've already got this. You know who he is? He is Cleveland Browns Joe Flacco right now.
Yeah, okay.
He's
right.
He's like, I already got paid, right? Yeah. I've got my $120 million contract from the Ravens. I've already got a Super Bowl. Like, I've been benched. I've been out of the league. I was at home last week. Yeah, I'm going to throw the ball to Amari Cooper and see what happens.
Well, it's like Auntie Ranta. Look at locally, Carolina Hurricanes. Got benched, sit down in the minors. Forino comes back, plays strong alongside Spencer Martin. Then obviously there's no spot for him now. But during that stretch, when he came back, played all right. Played pretty good, actually.
A healthy amount of bleep it in all three of those situations. And I think it's working for him. Right? I think it's working for him. Yeah, you know what? Let's try it. Hey, you know what? Middlebrooks has the hot hand. I'm playing him a bunch and telling him to cook on the post. Like, bleep it. What are you going to do? Take my job? You can't. I've already proven that. And it wasn't like you can't because I'm playing better and now I'm asking for more money or an extension. It's like you can't because there was a clause in my contract that said if I do this, I get $1 million or $500,000 raise, which he's done, over 2 years, or over the rest of his contract. So he's literally making millions. He has over $250,000 in incentives. The team has won 9 straight games in 19 days. What are you going to say to him? Yeah, he got a technical for walking out of the box. You know what he did? Went like, really? And walked back and kept coaching a great game. That is a confident and paid coach. Credit to him. And he should have the ability at some point in time in his career, and I know he won't because he seems like a really nice guy with really forward thinking, and he's very like, let bygones be bygones. But I hope if there's a press conference at some point in time where he does like the you and you and you and you, and none of you predicted it right. That'd be kind of fun. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
I was just thinking of DJ Horns going double birds against Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's Keatts, just to all of us.
Like
who doubted it.
He just posts that picture.
Yeah.
As like to everyone that doubted me. And it's a little picture of the double birds. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about my friends over at Miller Lending. And, of course, that means Gordon Miller and Miller Lending. In the end, here's the question. The average length of a loan in America is less than 4 years, and it has been that way for decades. So plan for it, right? When other mortgage brokers or other mortgage lenders give you the chart with your payments over 30 years, and this is what you're going to pay, and this is how many years, and this is your interest, and that's all well and good if you think you're going to be there for 30 years. Most people, significantly not. Most people, 4 years or less. So do some thinking, do some planning with that in mind. You're either going to refinance or you're going to move within 5 years. Miller Lending is one of, if not the best, at preparing you to take advantage of that style of kind of lifespan of your mortgage. And they use the no closing cost loan to help you, to refi, to get better rates, so you don't have to buy down your rates and do all of the math that comes with that. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, could DJ Burns actually play in the NFL? That's right. The hype for the player of the tournament has gotten so aggressive. There's conversations about him playing two different professional sports happening right now. That's coming up. Football 4 next.
Bring on the madness.
Final score, 76-64. The Wolfpack beats Duke. You can light up the bell tower red. The Pack is back in the national semifinals for the first time since 1983. NC State beats Duke for the second time in the month of March, this time for a trip to the Final Four. Incredible.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Carolina Ale House, Fairway Green, and Bailey's Fine Jewelry.
It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday. The very first Tuesday.
New scratch-off tickets are available on the first Tuesday of every month.
Announcer said first Tuesday.
Brand new scratch-offs, brand new fun. Now from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Every first Tuesday. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
The best thing about pollen? It's temporary. Just like the Autobell Car Wash Pollen Pass. Enjoy 3 months of unlimited car washes. Get your pass today and save at any Autobell. And when the pollen ends, so does your plan.
People can tell we do Autobell.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already?
Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow.
So?
Sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
For a limited time, you can buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $2.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Mitchell Heating and Cooling. We do the job right every time.
Protect your heating and cooling system like my offensive line protects me. I'm Drake May, quarterback at UNC. Mitchell Heating and Cooling has been committed to your comfort for 50 years and counting. Call Mitchell Heating and Cooling today.
Contact us now at mitchellhvac.com or 919-556-5069. Train. It's hard to stop a train.
The best solutions every time.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here to tell you about my friends, my partners over at Window Nation. This time of year, you're probably like me, right? I had a bunch of people over watching the games this weekend, and you can't always predict the plays you're going to watch on the screen, which means you might have a lap full of nachos that you're eating, and then the play happens where you have to stand up and cheer, and guess where those nachos go? All over the carpet. Window Nation is there to make sure that you're comfortable as you clean up everything. You don't have glare on the TV, which is a big problem, right? It's March and the weather is changing. It's a critical time to check the status of your home's windows. Look at them from every different angle. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus 0 interest, 0 down, and no payments for 24 months. They can install your windows in 1 day or less. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. Get a free, no-obligation quote now. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com to schedule. That's windownation.com.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to gotbrian.com. That's gotbrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Mostly cloudy skies, but still very warm for us this afternoon. High temperatures in the mid-80s, so we're looking at close to record highs. Mid-60s overnight tonight, and it's another warm day tomorrow with a high of 86 under mainly cloudy skies. Tuesday night into Wednesday, scattered thunderstorms roll in.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 240 points to 39,566. You're invited to Sanford's 150th birthday bash Saturday, April 6th from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is a free event happening at Sanford Fairgrounds. Get all the details at sanford150.com. Again, sanford150.com.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. DJ Burns is taking the world by storm. He has the sports world in the palm of his hand. He can definitely play basketball. Part of the question has become, as more and more of the national media that maybe covers multiple sports gets exposed to DJ Burns, the basketball player, they are all coming to the same exact endpoint. How in the world does he not have a helmet and shoulder pads on? He's a great basketball player. But how in the world has no basketball coach or no football coach at any point in time said, you know what, man, it might be a lucrative decision for you to just see if you have what it takes. Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Famer in the NFL. Now he's a part of the media world. He had this to say about DJ Burns.
Guess what? Hey, get a kick slide. I know some people that, I call Willie Anderson. He could work with you. You could be a tackle.
Oh, how about that?
There's been a lot of basketball players that transitioned to the NFL and made great careers.
That's right. I'm not ruling that out for him.
It's not just Shannon Sharpe, who's more of an opinion guy either. It's Jim Nagy, who runs the Senior Bowl, and Torrey Holt, who is an NC State football legend, both saying they've heard from multiple GMs and high-level executives just asking, like, hey, DJ Burns, what are the chances? That's you know how you're having a good basketball season? When people start thinking you can play other professional sports. You know you're having a good basketball season when people just start going, you know what? If NFL is king, this guy feels like he should be playing for the king. Should be playing for the king of sports. It's unreal. And you know what? It does feel like it might work. But do you know what else I want to say? Let's not let the what could he be in football take away from the what he is in basketball. He is a really gosh darn good basketball player.
Yeah, there's a what could he do, but also what he's doing.
What we've seen him do. He is an impossible player to understand. That's what I'm learning. The only way to not have your brain turned into a pretzel when you watch him play is to be just exposed to it for a lot over time, right? You watch him play enough, you just stop asking questions like, how do you stop that? You just stop asking questions like, what are they supposed to do when he runs into him like that? You just stop asking questions like, oh, where does he get that touch from? You just accept it. It's like the tides or stars or something, right? Sometimes you're just like, you know what? That's how it is. I don't have to completely understand why. I don't have to know all the science behind it. It's just how it is. It's like Isaac Newton's laws, right? And DJ Burns' laws. It's just that's how it is. Kyle Filipowski, 7'1", 7'2", fantastic movement, good feet. Couldn't stick with the 6'9", 325-pound guy. Why? That's just how it is. You know, I said earlier that I had a bunch of people over this weekend. It's the second consecutive DJ Burns kind of experience I've had with people that haven't watched a lot of him. And I find I like to have answers, right? I do this for a living. When people ask me sports questions, I like to have answers or something to add to the conversation. I find myself going, just kind of how it is, more often than I ever have before.
I was back home in Virginia this weekend. They're asking me, like, yeah, that DJ Burns guy, like, that dude is so quick. He's nimble.
Why can't they guard him? I'm like,
or it's like, how do you stop that guy? I'm like, great question.
It's just kind of how it is.
I've been watching that guy play for 2 years. I don't know.
You ask me a football question. It's like, well, they're bringing a lot of pressure. That opens them up. Like, I have answers for that. Well, DJ.
Hope he misses.
Yeah.
And gets into foul trouble.
Yeah, foul trouble. That's about it. It's because fatigue hasn't really – he's playing well at the end of games recently. He's the most popular player in the country. Here's why he's such an enigma, right? Who in the NBA, who are the most popular players? LeBron. Steph, right? What does LeBron do? Soaring dunks, feats of athleticism we have not seen ever.
Built like an Adonis.
What is the body fat percentage is different. What does Steph Curry do? Shoots threes from distances we've never seen before. Who's the most popular women's basketball player right now? Probably Caitlin Clark, right?
Caitlin Clark, easily.
Logo threes, right? Launching from distance. Other great college basketball players that we remember in this era, right? It's the Zions. It's the players that can dunk and shoot and dunk and shoot. Those are the DJ Burns is the most popular player in the country right now. He doesn't dunk or shoot threes. Do you realize how good you have to be to captivate everyone's attention and your highlights are the same as like the old man at the Y? You reach, I teach, spin move, pump fake, up and under. But he's doing it against some of the best players in the country. So much so that Nikola Jokic, two-time MVP in the NBA, NBA champion for the Denver Nuggets, loves watching DJ Burns, and he said as much in his press conference right here.
No, I just watch. Actually, they're not supposed to make it, right? And I think he's so skilled, especially lefty. I love to be lefty, and it seems like teammates like to play with him. So
that's Nikola Jokic. By the way, great point. He is lefty. It's confusing. It's boxing a southpaw. It is impossible to watch DJ Burns and A, fully understand his effectiveness, and B, not let your mind wander to him playing football. It takes two spin moves for you to go, you know what, those feet on somebody that size. Get him into an NFL weight training program, reorganize that upper body just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And you might be looking at a bookend tackle. You might be looking at blindside protection. Do we have to go watch the movie The Blind Side?
Yeah, we just might.
Just to understand how important the left tackle is. Read the book. It's actually the book is better. But golly, DJ Burns is captivating the world.
I was just thinking, he might be the most intriguing offensive line prospect to come out of NC State the last 3 years, and they've had 2 offensive linemen drafted
by the hometown team.
Yeah, I know. Both by. I mean, I'm not even going back.
Chandler Zavala.
I'm not even going back even with Garrett Bradbury, who's drafted in the first round by the Minnesota Vikings. This guy's the most intriguing of all.
Intriguing for sure.
Yeah.
I won't disrespect, especially Bradbury, and say the best.
That dude's a stud.
But intriguing, right? The basketball players, like, if he held a pro day, say 3 weeks after the Final Four, right before the draft, he got out there and just got down into a stance and did some L drills, I think you'd have 20-plus NFL teams send a representative.
Oh, easily.
Just to see what it looks like. Do you realize how good of a basketball season you have to have to even make this conversation plausible? To not make this conversation embarrassing? Right? It feels a bit like what would UConn this year do against the worst NBA team, which is a dumb conversation. The NBA team would win by 100. But for some reason, it doesn't feel dumb to be like, could you take this basketball player and put him on an NFL team 2.5 years from now, and it won't be embarrassing? It's like, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Realize how crazy that is? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. By the way, the phone lines are open all day today. I haven't been mentioning it enough. If you have a reaction to NC State making the Final Four, to DJ Burns, to DJ Horn, to any of the run-up, the ACC tournament, Kevin Keatts, the coach, if you have a reaction on NC State making the Final Four, we want to hear it. Whether you remember the 1983 championship, whether you were born since the 1983 championship and have been longing for your version of it, you have a dad that you called after the game, a mom that you called after the game, whatever it is, Heister Automotive Group hotline is open for you. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. I'm Tim Donnelly. I also want to tell you about my friends over at Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry in the Village District location. Go check out the Norcane watches, right? If you're not a watch person and you're like, oh, well, I might want to dabble, maybe they have some entry-level luxury watches, not cheap by any means, but they have some ones that maybe aren't going to make your eyes pop all the way out of your head, but they're cool. They're fun. They have quite a few skeleton watches, which means the face on your watch shows all the inner workings, the dials, the gears. It lets you kind of appreciate what you're buying and wearing. It lets you appreciate the mechanic, the movement that goes into it. So go ahead and check them out. Just go out and look. They'll whether it's Mickey, their timepiece manager or any of the staff there, they can definitely walk you and talk you through everything you need to know about all of the watches, but including the Norcane. Stop by Fox & Bailey's Watch Shop, Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Make sure they know we sent you from here on 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, more of your reactions to NC State making the Final Four, which should be coming in on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. And we announce our podium. I know who's on the gold medal stand, but who's silver, bronze, and off the podium. Stick around.
Bring on the madness.
Final score, 76-64. The Wolfpack beats Duke. You can light up the bell tower red. The Pack is back in the national semifinals for the first time since 1983. NC State beats Duke for the second time in the month of March, this time for a trip to the Final Four. Incredible.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Heard the catchphrase that's sweeping the nation?
Jackson Hugh, yeah.
People are saying Jackson Hugh, yeah, to Jackson Hewitt because they love saving money on tax prep. Do you love saving money? Then switch to Jackson Hewitt today and pay less than last year. Thousands of people have already made the switch. Why haven't you? Stop waiting and start filing. You won't get a better deal or a better catchphrase. All together now.
Jackson Hugh, yeah!
Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. Now you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, T-I-M-D, no spaces, and bet $5, they'll receive $200 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD and bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license.
Say Santa, a 60th birthday celebration for Maynard James Keenan. Featuring Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle. All three bands on stage together. April 7th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. On sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Say Santa featuring Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle. Produced by Live Nation.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company wants to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers are riders too, so we understand what your bike and gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and we don't get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
Burns shovels it to the cutting Horn, shoots over Filipowski, glass and good. Oh man, what a shot by Horn. Unbelievable.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we get to the podium, we want your reactions. We want your emotions. We want the one single tear of happiness that streamed down your face as NC State made the Final Four. And we want it on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. We'll start with Reggie in Raleigh, who's on the line, been waiting patiently. Reggie, thank you for calling in. What is your take? What is your emotions when it comes to State making the Final Four?
Well, just want to start off. My dad was a fan since I think '76. He said watching David Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
And then in '83, he said he was in high school. That was his senior year in high school. So I was kind of born to be an NC State fan. I remember Reynolds Coliseum. I remember the grass area on the football field where we used to sit on the grass, and they didn't have any stands there. So just seeing Hillsborough Street last night, and the guys go to the Final Four, and then the girls also going to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very refreshing. A lot of Carolina and Duke fans are saying, you guys be humble. But I'm like, how can we be humble with what's going on with us right now? It's no humble in this. We can't be humble. How can you be humble? It's very refreshing, and it's good to see Keatts winning. I think Keatts had the formula the whole time, but I think everything just gelled together right at the perfect time.
And I'll say this. It is mighty, mighty easy to tell someone else to be humble when they're in the Final Four. But when your own team is in the Final Four, and I'll say this for everybody, you want to enjoy that party, right? You want to ride that wave. There's no reason not to.
Right. Ride it out, man. Ride it out. And for all the Pack fans out there, hey, why not us? DJ Horn, man, why not us? Why not us? Go Pack. Go Pack.
Thanks for the call, Reggie. I'm very big on that also. Like, I never get when somebody, like, your team makes it to the Final Four and your thought is like, act like you've been there before. Relax. Like, why? You might get this once in your lifetime, right? It's been 41 years. Milk every bit of joy and happiness and celebration you can out of it.
There's nearly 2 generations of State fans who are like, act like a bit. I don't know what it's like. So you can't tell me to act like I've been somewhere when I've never been there.
That was a fully grown adult that just called in saying my dad was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it makes sense. All right. Yeah. You go nuts, right? Buy the jersey, buy the T-shirt. If you can get tickets to Phoenix, fly on out there. You want, or actually at least don't do this, because it does feel like there's about 1.8 million people that have said they were at the game in 1983. So at least don't have it. Watch it by yourself at home if you're going to lie and tell everybody you were there. That way somebody's not like, what are you talking about? We watched it at Uncle Joe's house. Like, if you're going to pull that story, cover your bases. Bobby, who's out on the road, US 264, joins us on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. You can as well. Reactions to State making the Final Four. Call in 919-860-5326. Bobby, thank you for calling in. Where's your head at involving NC State making the last four?
Well, my story's a little bit different. So I just moved to North Carolina 2 years ago from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So when they were out there in '83, I was a junior in high school.
Wow.
And I didn't go to the game, but we were like out there in the parking lot listening to it on the radio. And we kind of, me and my friends kind of rooted for NC State back then because UNM, our mascot is the Lobo. So we're, hey, Wolfpack, it's the same thing. So I've always had like a soft spot for NC State. And ever since I moved here, even though my daughter's going to ECU, I kind of root for NC State and their football and basketball. So it's been a lot of fun watching them. And I'm thinking when they fly to Phoenix, they need to stop in Albuquerque real quick, get a little bus. It's the pit where they won the '83 championship. It's 5 minutes from the airport. Have them go over there and walk around on the court and just get that feeling again, then head on out to Phoenix and kick everybody's butt.
I don't hate that move at all. It's like going to grab like a piece of grass from where you won a big game or something like that. I don't hate that move at all. Thank you for the call, Bobby. Here's the interest. Actually, we haven't even brought this up. This is the first year with the David Thompson statue. David Thompson statue was unveiled outside Reynolds Coliseum earlier this year.
That's a good point.
And suddenly, the game-winning shots are falling when they used to rattle out. Oh, the calls are going their way, right? The other team's big was fouled out with 5 minutes left rather than NC State's big fouling out with 5 minutes left. Maybe there's something to be said for that, for those of you that believe in superstition. The drive of Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All day today, we're opening up the phone lines for your reactions to State making the Final Four. We have Dale and Clayton. Dale and Clayton, you're on the line. What's your take?
Well, I totally feel like we're playing with house money. Like, there's almost nothing to lose. And, I was in 11th grade as well in '83. And I remember every game just totally – the Pepperdine game, we shouldn't have even won. So it was just so much anxiety. But with this team, I think everybody is looser because we're not supposed to be there. And it's crazy. It's been fun as heck to watch, so I can tell you that.
I've thought that a few times where like a player the most recent example was the Duke game where DJ Burns couldn't quite get his hand on it, and he ended up knocking it away, and Michael O'Connell tried to save it, and he couldn't. And then they stood up and looked at each other and, laughed. And I was thinking that was a big difference between Duke and State. When Duke made mistakes, it was like, "Urgh!" They were tight and their backs clenched. When NC State made a mistake, it was like, oh, you know what? We tried, right? We wanted to get it done. That wasn't a bad decision. We just couldn't make it happen. And you're right. It's kind of like the house money thing. I think they're just playing a bit looser than their opponents.
Well, even for me as a fan, I remember '83. I mean, even though I was just 11th grade, every game I was so nervous and so tense. And again, going back to the house money, it's like, okay, if we'd have lost to Duke, we won the ACC championship. Now, do I want to win it all? Heck yeah. But it's so miraculous, man, that you almost have to think, man, that is some kind of
team of destiny
extra factor in there. I ain't saying what it is, but you know what I'm saying.
Dale, I appreciate the call very much. Thank you for calling in.
Yep.
I said when NC State beat Oakland in overtime, I said that was the team of destiny off, right? That was like a face-off. That was the team of destiny off. Whoever came out of that overtime was this year's team of destiny. And NC State came out of that overtime victorious, kind of actually dominated. Last one here before we get to our podium. Timothy in Raleigh on the call-in line, Heister Automotive Group hotline. Timothy, thank you for calling in. What's your angle on NC State making the Final Four? What's your connection to it?
Let's go! Ah! I am so excited and pumped and just over the moon. I'm an 8th grade teacher, math and science. I went to NC State for education. I got randomly told you should go to State for education. It's probably a good school. I'm a old school diehard 90s Eagles fan, Philadelphia Eagles. And so when I got to NC State, I was like, oh, this is home. We're both losers. We're both almost there, but we can't get there. So I was like, this is awesome. Like, I can root for the underdog. We're always almost there, but we never can get there. So when being here is just like that Super Bowl, I'm just over the moon. My students are like, what is wrong with you? And I'm just beyond happy.
So what I'm hearing is they need to draw up a play if they need it in the clutch. Instead of Philly special, call it Raleigh special?
That's exact. Burns is special right there. It's a DJ kind of day. This is what I'm talking about. We are just psyched beyond belief to even be here.
Can we get one more? Let's go. Can we get one more?
Let's go! Woo!
I appreciate the call very, very much. Thank you for calling in. Oh man,
Thank you.
That was fantastic. And you know what? You know who's the real winner here?
Can't top that.
You know who's the real winner here? That gentleman's 8th grade students. Because
yes.
you know he's bringing energy to the class every day.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's not just, hey, open your textbooks to book number or page number 96. It's like, we're science today. We're going to Bill Nye this bad boy. We're doing experiments. Let's go.
Hey, basketball court's 94 feet.
Exactly.
Work that in.
Let's work some
In.
geometry. Michael O'Connell's shot to go off the backboard and in had to be shot at what angle with what velocity and had what percentage chance of going in.
What was its apex?
There we go. That was fantastic. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That call was a good indicator of who's going to be at the top of the podium for us today. But we don't start at the top of the podium. We rank the 4 ACC schools from the state of North Carolina based on their previous week of action. Every week they're playing. And because we had 3 make the Sweet 16, we can continue doing this longer than we traditionally can. But with that being said, off the podium, Wake Forest. Why? If you have to ask that question, you better ask somebody. Like that ain't for us.
When you don't play any games because you got knocked out of the NIT, sorry.
And you lost Boopy Miller into the transfer portal.
That stinks.
I've heard there might be some names thinking about going back their direction.
That's fair.
So, the portal giveth and taketh away, but we kicketh to off the podium. Bronze medal goes to UNC. Sweet 16 exit to Alabama. I have to admit, I went back and forth on Duke or UNC in the bronze. But UNC, when it comes to the tournament, part of it does just have to be who advanced further. Part of it, like every team is banged up. Every team deals with injuries. Every team has unique circumstances. Part of it has to be who makes it the furthest. And especially, right, this was kind of the clincher on why I couldn't put Duke bronze and UNC silver. UNC was the higher seed. So when you're the 1 seed and you don't make it to the Elite 8, that is partial disappointment, right? Like the chalk storyline says you should make it to the Elite Eight Final Four. So when you don't do that, there's some disappointment there. And also with the way it happened. They didn't dance with who brought them. Right? The Elliot Cadeau and Seth Trimble, two main contributors, barely played in the second half. I think that's a decision that Hubert Davis is going to want back.
Cadeau didn't play the final 15-30.
And even if you say, oh, look at the plus minus, there's something to be said for having your point guard on the floor in clutch moments. And not cold either. Like, he needs to be in the mix, in the rhythm, playing a little bit. So UNC, bronze medal. Silver, obviously, goes to Duke. Here's why I struggled with, like, I kind of wanted them to put bronze. They had a Sweet 16 win over Houston. Part of the story of that is she didn't play for Houston after the injury, which changes a little bit. But they did upset a number 1 seed in the Sweet 16. But then their Elite Eight loss to NC State, that's a brutal triangle record for Duke this year. They went 1-4 against teams from the triangle. And you could argue the one that they won had the lowest stakes of the 5. Because the 2 North Carolina games were 2 teams vying for the regular season championship in the ACC. They lost both of those. They beat NC State in the regular season, but guess what? NC State wasn't competing for anything in the regular season. But once they get to the postseason, NC State's beaten them twice now. So they're 0-2 against UNC, 1-2 against NC State, with that loss coming this weekend, or the second loss coming this weekend in the Elite Eight. It's a brutal way for your season to end. Against a team you know you can beat because you've done it once, a rival team that knows you well. And again, it's how it happened. You got bullied. Your best player fouled out with 5 minutes left. You got bullied. Gold, NC State. The only one still playing.
If you wonder why,
this is
go ask somebody.
This is a Usain Bolt, like he's winning by steps in the 100-meter dash. They're a long way ahead right now.
Winning by steps and pulling up.
Yeah, and hands to the side, pounding their chest, and breaking the world record.
Yeah.
Maybe not breaking a world record. They'd have to win a national championship to do that. But being in the Final Four, having beaten Duke, having beaten UNC in the ACC championship, like this is a gold medal for NC State that didn't have to be debated very long.
That was one of the more easier ones, I think, in terms of podium, because we're at the point in the season where it's all about result, right?
Yeah.
It's all about how
in the
far
tournament,
you go.
it does. I think it has to be. That's what we settled on. I do think it has to be. Like, no, there are no style points at this point.
No,
in the
they're
season.
none.
In the regular season, I do think there is an argument for, like, if a player that had been in a slump broke out of the slump, but you lose by 1 to a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, let's throw them in ahead of a team that maybe won a game in close fashion against a bad team. Like, it's not just who won and who lost. In the postseason, there's no style points. There's no, like, oh, this one, it's like if you lose, your season's over, you're done. I don't care what it looked like. If you win, you keep playing. I don't care what it looked like. NC State's still playing their goal. Duke played longer than the other 2. UNC played longer than Wake. Decision made. And this is probably the last podium. Actually, next week, what we're going to have to do? We'll do the podium of like the entire season. This has been a weekly award. We'll do the podium for the entire season.
Okay, that could get a little interesting.
Just full everything involved. Players, transfer portal, game, head-to-head, overall records, postseason, everything. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Right now, we have some cool tickets for you. Text keyword CAR, C-A-R, like the thing you drive, to 919-860-5326 to enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to Good Guys' 9th
Griot's Garage.
Griot's Garage. There we go. Good Guys' 9th Griot's Garage, North Carolina Nationals at the NC State Fairgrounds, April 19th to 21st. Again, that is keyword CAR, C-A-R, to 919-860-5326.
If you're a car person, definitely something to check out. Like if you
if you just want to be.
Oh yeah, or if you just want to be, you're just casually.
If you're like me, my son turned 3 years old over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what he is obsessed with? anything that he can go like any of that. He'll pick up a fork, start making car noises at the dinner table, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I'm driving." What do you mean? I'm duh. Can't you hear?
Talking about?
Can't you hear the noise? And then he'll yell red light. It's a whole thing. If you have a youngster you want to take to a car show, it's a great way to do it. Text keyword car, CAR, to 919-860-5326. This is going to be a day where there's a lot to talk about. There's 2 teams from NC State going to the Final Four. Duke's season ended, which is the flip side of that coin. I think we should talk just a little bit here about the Carolina Hurricanes' 3-0 victory over Montreal over the weekend.
They don't play till Thursday,
which gives them time to get healthy. It's really their last break before the postseason.
Yeah,
they pick the tempo back up. But for a few reasons, I want to talk about it, and I think we'd be remiss to completely ignore it because there's this basketball going on. Pyotr Kochetkov with a shutout.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's big for his mentals. Freddie had been playing so lights out and picking up seemingly like a shutout every other game that Pyotr was playing well, yet being kind of pushed aside in the accolades department. Pyotr's not long ago from being the rookie of the month in the NHL, but Freddie's like a 96% save guy right now, which is tough to compare yourself to. But going out and getting a shutout like he did against Montreal, I think that's very good for Pyotr going, no, actually, I want starts in the postseason too, right? Like I want to be a part of this run, and I've been a part of this run all year, and I don't want anybody to say I didn't fight for my net, right? I had Adam Gold on Friday's show, and he said he kind of flipped it, right? Kind of was Pyotr's net with Freddie playing well behind him, and because of how well Freddie was playing, it's now kind of Freddie's net with Pyotr playing well behind him. I think it's good for Pyotr Kochetkov to know he didn't give anything up without a fight, right? If he put up a 4-0 shutout, I'm putting up a 3-0 shutout the next game, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure my role is secure. I like this little back and forth.
It's good to have that healthy competition. We've seen that before with Carolina, but it's also confidence, or it has to be confidence for the guys in front.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter who's back there. They're going to make good stops for us. They're going to make the key save, the timely ones, all that stuff. We have confidence no matter who's in net.
Yeah, you don't have that day where you're like, so-and-so's getting a rest day. We really got to do extra. Everybody press. Everybody go. It's like, no. Whichever one's back there, we play the best game that we can play.
Or you don't have to overwork one guy.
Also true.
You don't have to do that.
Also very true. The other thing I think we need to point out, because this has become a Gensel storyline, and it is, but it's that first line is buzzing. Aho and Jarvis both with a goal and an assist in that one, right? Which just goes to yes, Gensel is great, and he's creating opportunities. He's picking up assists left and right, and he's pinging the iron left and right. He maybe hasn't scored as many goals as we would have liked, but not for lack of great chances. And he's creating points still. But it's also to remember he's on a line with Aho and Jarvis. And those guys are keeping pace, if not exceeding what Gensel's doing in a lot of ways. And you don't just want to praise the new guy. You want to praise the guys that are still there doing what they've been doing all year. That line is just buzzing. And it's how long has it been? 9-10 games since the All-Star, or since the trade deadline? 11 games, something like that? It's already almost becoming assumed and moot, where you're just like, yep, first line, played well, created a bunch of goals. Really? That's what we're doing already? We're just like, yep, Aho, there it is. Goal and assist, multi-point. Seth Jarvis. He's 22 years old, making plays, forechecking, doing a whole bunch of. Yep, there it is again. Real cool. That line is buzzing, and I want to give them their due, just like I want to give Kochetkov their due, and Freddie Anderson their due. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're just mixing in some hockey on a basketball Monday. There's nothing wrong with it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Lone Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loans, no personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it all happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for a home improvement project. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, I tell you how the real winners of the NCAA tournament, NC State made the Final Four, that's great and good. The real winners, Hubert Davis and Kyle Filipowski. Stick around.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
What is a home? Most of us think of our homes as a place of safety and comfort for our families. My name is Keith Gregory, Vice President with Home Exteriors by Baker Roofing, but more importantly, a homeowner like you. We treat every home as the sanctuary it is, transforming and preserving homes with roofing, siding, window, door, and gutter services. I would like to invite you to join the thousands who have trusted us with their homes. Visit bakerroofing.com for a free consultation. That's bakerroofing.com.
Now is the time to switch to Spectrum. Get Spectrum Internet, delivering fast and reliable speeds for just $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G. Ask how you can get a Visa Rewards card, up to $500 when you add more mobile lines. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all with Spectrum One. Go to Spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Making dinner, trimming your hair, mowing the lawn. Sure, you can do it all yourself, but why? At Autobell Car Wash, our team cleans your whole car from the inside out in 15 minutes or less. We do the work so you don't have to.
People can tell when you Autobell.
Sanja loves to bake, but her feet, they were throbbing. Then one day, I found a solution. Arch supports from the Good Feet store. Have foot pain? Good Feet could help.
You too can live the life you love with arch supports from the Good Feet store.
Hey, North Carolina, Adam Gold's here, and you can say goodbye to busted brackets like mine because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tournament. Whether you're betting on a big upset or a 1 seed, it's time to go dancing with America's #1 sportsbook, and that's FanDuel. And you can bet on everything from the money line, who's going to win, over-unders, to which team will win it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Take the court with $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 wager. Go to FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold to get started. FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 and older and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only, $10 deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina education. Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
Get a great deal this spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a Trane.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As we've been doing all day today, the phone lines are open. Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. We want your emotions. We want your reaction. We want your stories of how you and your grandfather used to talk about the 1983 championship for NC State and how it brought back those memories to watch NC State go to the Final Four over the weekend. We want your reactions and everything when it comes to State making the Final Four. Call in now. Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. Now, having said that, State's obviously a team that all their fans are very happy right now. I actually think Hubert Davis and Kyle Filipowski are the two biggest winners of the tourney. And we'll get to Hubert Davis in a second. But, I mean, Kyle Filipowski, right? I mean, you talk about somebody that really, even in a loss, was easily the most productive player on the court against NC State, and you don't want him to get grouped into some kind. Can everybody hear my trepidation here? This is an April Fool's bit. It's a cheap game, cheap bit here. April Fool's, everybody. Filipowski's not the biggest winner of the tournament, and Hubert Davis isn't either because they're not playing anymore. Did I get you? Did I get you? Yeah? April Fool's Day, honestly, I feel like you got to try something. It is a
hey, you tried. We'll give you that.
It is the worst day on social media of the year.
Oh gosh, like it was 3 years ago?
We'll talk about that in a second. But I hate when even like, obviously, we are an entertainment show. We do like integrity, respect, all that we do value. But when the reporters start getting in on it, the people that like break news and or the people who make fake profiles to look like people breaking news, it puts my antennas so far up. If you do anything on April Fools, you should have to like get a notary to like confirm it, and that includes things like retirements. Dennis just brought it up. Remember 3 years ago, today, 3 years ago, April 1st, Roy Williams retired, and there was very much that like, wait, how much of a joke is this? Right? There was very much that, hold up. Should we wait till tomorrow for this to happen? That's exactly what's going on, right? But also that got us thinking, right? We're talking about April Fools. We're like, oh, I remember 3 years ago, Roy Williams. Has this run by State shaken up the Triangle basketball habitat at all? Has it broken up when I say the Triangle basketball habitat, I mean UNC lost to NC State in the ACC championship. Duke lost to NC State in both the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament. And it's important to remember that 3 years ago, Roy Williams and Coach K were here, and they're not here anymore. Like, there's something to be said for, was it really Duke and UNC have been a step ahead of NC State for the last X amount of years? Or was it Roy Williams and Coach K were ahead of NC State for the last X amount of years?
That's 3 years ago to the day that Roy Williams announced his retirement.
That is it's a question that we may never have the answer to, but if I'm a State fan, I'm taking, like, it's similar to, like, when Tom Brady left the AFC East. It's like, were the Patriots really better than the Dolphins and Bills all those years? Notice I didn't say Jets. They really were better than the Jets all those years.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins and Bills all those years, or was Tom Brady better than those particular teams? I would be riding that wave if I were NC State, going, all right, those two guys are gone. Could be our time. Look at us. We're in the Final Four. I know you guys were in the Final Four, 2 years ago after those guys left. But, hey, that's not what we're talking about right now. Let's head back to the call-in line. Heister Automotive Group Hotline, 919-860-5326. We want to hear from you and your reactions to State making the Final Four. We go to Steve in Apex. Steve, you are up next. Thank you for calling in. What's your story? What's your take when it comes to the Final Four appearance by the Wolfpack?
How you doing? Tim, this is my feeling. I'm a Duke fan. I'm a big-time Duke fan.
Okay.
But this was one of the few games that we ever lost that I was like, I got mixed emotions about it. Because my whole family's State fan. My nephew went to State. I'm like, that's pretty cool since 1983. Maybe I don't feel so bad losing to them. But this is the point I want to ask you, Tim, because this is what been kind of irritate me a little bit about the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
It's like the ACC got disrespected totally, but yet if Carolina had a decent second half in that game against Alabama, half the Elite Eight would have been ACC teams. Half of it, 4 out of 8. And they sitting there saying ACC this and ACC that. I just said they just were lined up wrong. But I think they were better than what people gave them credit for. I want your opinion on that, too.
Steve, I could not agree with you more. My opinion on it is all those people that were down on the ACC and all those people that said the ACC was having a down year, they were wrong. It's not. I'm not disagreeing with you that the opinions were out there. They were, and we've called them out by name in many cases. The opinion havers, they were wrong. The ACC is flat out better than the consensus had on them during the year. And yes, you're right. If UNC made it to the Elite Eight, if they were able to hold off Alabama, then half of the Elite Eight would have been from the ACC. But guess what's still really gosh darn impressive? 3 teams making it to the Elite Eight. And guess what? Like, starting with the Sweet 16, the ACC has had at least 1/4 of every round. They've had at least 1/4 of the Sweet 16. They had at least 1/4 of the Elite Eight. And now they have at least 1/4 of the Final Four. There are Power 5 conferences of which they were supposed to be the worst this year. And they were even behind, in some opinions, the Mountain West.
Yeah, where are they?
Not still playing. And
yeah, go ahead. I'll wait.
Darn sure didn't have a 4th of the last 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
The ACC is a really gosh darn good team.
Hey, remember that Big 12?
I do.
Yeah, where are they?
I mean, really the only conference I think that has held up to the ACC a little bit is the Big East.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I have no problem if someone wants to argue for the Big East. I'll have a conversation with you.
Sure.
I'm still going to, I'm going to stay with my team on this side, but we can have that conversation. You want to bring up just about anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
I might get a little hostile.
Yeah, I mean, okay, at least going back to 2015, the Big East, I think, now has 5 Final Four teams now, and they've won 3 championships.
Nova
ACC now has 9 Final Four teams and has 3 championships. So NC State going to the Final Four continues to add to that number for the ACC. Big Ten has 5 and no championships.
There it is.
So, again, you're Mountain West. Where are you? There's no Big 12 here either. Where are you? Go ahead. It's like where in the nation is Carmen Sandiego? Like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Oh, sitting on their couch next to the Big 12 and Mountain West.
There are certain teams that are like on the podium, certain teams in the ring. Certain teams didn't even get an invite to the competition, and somehow they were still put over the ACC at times this year. It's like they're not even in the running. What are you talking about?
And I love how some of these national pundits will be like, well, we got to look at, like, the season as a whole. Like, why should we value one game during a part of the season more than the other? I'm like, so you're going to tell me this March game doesn't matter more than the game that was played in, like,
or at least
mid-November?
What it has to do is change the value of those previous games.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking at a team that beat NC State during the year, that win has to be more impressive now, knowing what NC State has done going to the Final Four, than you thought it was at the time. Beating Clemson has to be more impressive now than you thought it was in December, right? Because Clemson is obviously a very good team that made it all the way to the Elite Eight. And the same is true in a bunch of different ways. And I'm confident that if Pitt would have made it, or Wake would have made it, Wake would have won 1 game. Pitt would have won maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, I would have seen Pitt in the Sweet 16. I could see it.
Wake would have dominated a team in the first round, and then inconsistency would have caught them. But the ACC as a whole has proven to outperform, and I'm right there with Steve in Apex.
Take your net rankings and stick it.
That might be the most eloquent way to put it. One more here quickly. Rob in Goldsboro on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Thank you for calling in. What's your angle? What's your take on NC State making the Final Four?
Hey, I just wanted to say I am completely in utter shock. I was born in '86, so yeah, I was alive when they won the last time they won the ACC championship, but I couldn't remember anything. But this is just awesome and everything. My dad went to state, and he actually took PE with David Thompson.
He took, you said PE?
Yeah, with David Thompson.
Oh, that's a little bit like taking music with Mozart, isn't it? Like,
yeah. The very first day, the PE instructor was, wow, look at this guy. Hey, David, just do a standing long jump. And then he jumps like how far, like extremely far.
There it is. Rob, that's a fantastic story. Thank you very much for calling in. Can you imagine? I got to take PE. You're playing dodgeball, and on the other side, it's Thompson. Good luck
let's
on
play
that one.
Basketball here in PE.
Yeah. All right, we got we have the basketball section. We're going to divide up into teams of 3.
I'm on his team.
Yeah. First draft pick. I'm on first pick. I got him. I got the guy who's going to have a statue outside of this thing in a couple years, or in a couple decades. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about my friends over at Capital Financial Advisory Group, including Coach Pete. Coach Pete is passionate about helping guide you through retirement. And after 3 decades in the financial arena, he's still building customized and total retirement playbooks. In fact, he recently took me kind of behind the scenes of his game-changing strategy, which includes that successful and total retirement plan. It's very similar to football, which I appreciate. You need to gain yards, right? When you have the ball, when you're on offense, you need to go gain yards, but you also want to have a defensive strategy in place to protect yourself, make sure you're not giving up ground. Bottom line, you don't want to lose your gains. You don't have to depend on the market to lock in your gains, right? You want to control it, just like you want to control the clock. With this blueprint, you can be sure you keep those gains. It's a strategy that Wall Street tries to keep from you, but Coach Pete is passionate about helping folks build their retirement with this very strategy. If you're curious about how this can be done, working with a great coach like Coach Pete and the fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial Advisory truly makes all the difference. The team at Capital Financial care about you, not only to retirement, but all the way through retirement. Call 800-691-3215 or text my name, Tim, to 600-700. Again, that's 800-691-3215. 15 or text Tim to 600-700 to get that total retirement plan designed to grow with you from one season to the next season all the way through retirement. We'll take a break. When we come back, we have a special Wolfpack edition of the Starting Five. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
9 straight elimination games that they've won. And yet they keep going about their business very workmanlike, and they have this childlike enthusiasm when they're doing it. Like, this is a fun basketball team to watch. They're the most fun team to watch in the men's tournament. The way that they play basketball, especially their intensity on the defensive end, I mean, how could you not root for NC State at this point?
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
For a limited time, you can buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $2.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
The moment we've been waiting for has arrived. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today using code NEWNCBG. Then place your first bet of $5 or more. Win or lose, you'll receive $150 in bonus bets. Open to new users in North Carolina who are 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos or the promos tab in the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagamenc.gov. Tribal Casino Gaming Enterprise is a licensed operator by the North Carolina State Lottery Commission.
It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday. The very first Tuesday.
New scratch-off tickets are available on the first Tuesday of every month.
Announcer said first Tuesday.
Brand new scratch-offs, brand new fun. Now from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Every first Tuesday. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
April is here. Time to call Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Plus, save even more with no interest or payments for 24 months. Don't miss out. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you are tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We are talking natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Sheencup. Dr. Sheencup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call QC Kinetics now to learn more about some exciting options. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. 919-400-5473. With locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. 80s yesterday, again today, and more to come tomorrow. It's a warm night tonight. We're watching for an isolated storm up to the north. 65 the low, partly to mostly cloudy, windy and warm Tuesday, the high 86.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 240 points to 39,566. Market update brought to you by Habitat for Humanity Restore, now selling brand new solid wood custom cabinets. Learn more at trianglerestores.org. You're invited. That's right. You are invited to Sanford's 150th birthday bash Saturday, April 6th. That's this Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is a free event happening at Sanford Fairgrounds. Get all the details at sanford150.com. Again, sanford150.com.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time at 5 o'clock, like it always is, for the starting 5. Traditionally, we break down the 5 biggest stories of the day. We try to put a different spin on it. However, when there is simply one story that is the dominant one, sometimes we don't want to spread that out over 5, so we take the one story and we break it down into 5 different ways, 5 different angles, 5 different twists. We're going to do that today. Today is the starting 5 of 5 best moments from the 9-game win streak the NC State men's basketball team, the win streak that they are on, right? They've won 5 straight in the ACC tournament. That was 5 in 5 days. Now they've started with 4 wins in the NCAA tournament to make the Final Four. with the potential for 2 more. Let's go ahead and jump in, starting with number 5.
Inside to Middlebrooks with a shot clock at 5. Middlebrooks. This guy's pretty good.
The Ben Middlebrooks game. 21 points versus Texas Tech to open the NCAA tournament.
Career day.
Career day. Do you know what else it was? It was very much a moment of, like, you're holding your friends back. Like, you actually know what it is. You know the moment where a giant play is made on the basketball court and you see everyone on the bench, like, leaning forward but with their hands out to hold back the other players on the bench from going on the court? It's like, lean back. Also known as the hand that your mom used to use when she slammed on the brake to reach across.
Yes.
Also known as the hand that you use when you slam on the brakes and you have a pizza in the passenger seat, and just the little reach out to make sure it doesn't fall.
You're speaking my language.
There was that going before the game against Texas Tech, because it was before you fully buy into NC State. Let's see if that magic from the ACC tournament translated, right? Before you go all in, before you let your hopes and dreams run wild, hold. Let's see if the time off between the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament allowed it to wear off. And then in that very first game, Ben Middlebrooks had 21, and it's like, oh, never mind, go right ahead. It's still going on. If Ben Middlebrooks is scoring 20+, whatever pixie dust was sprinkled onto NC State is still in effect. Go ahead. And then the other thing that it was very much a, like, oh, this team is built in a way that they're going to need contributions from everybody, and kind of everybody's ready to step up, right? Ben Middlebrooks comes off the bench to score more points than DJ Burns. That right there shows, A, the team is ready for it. The team will, all right, yeah, if it's Ben's day, it's Ben's day. B, they're aware enough that if somebody has it going, they maybe don't have the firepower to turn it down, right? Like, oh, if he can give us 21, we can't afford to pass up a 21-point game from anybody. Get in there, Ben. One of my favorite moments, like, to break it down to one moment, he caught it on, like, the left short corner. So, like, halfway between the box down low and the corner 3. He gave a little jab step, little spin, little half move, went baseline, and then went up and under to the other side of the bucket. And literally, I was sitting there going, like, whoever I was watching it with, did you know he could do that? When did Ben Middlebrooks learn how to do that? And then a couple plays later, he went for it again and got fouled. And I'm going, I guess Ben Middlebrooks is just that guy now. I guess he's now a scorer. He's got finesse. He's been a bull in a china shop all season, and that's been good role. That's been a good role for him. But now he's just a scorer. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
O'Connell back to Morcell. Right of the lane to Burns. They double him into the corner to Taylor. Shot in the air for 3. Good for the right side. Big shot by Jaden Taylor. His second 3 of the game.
That was a 3 by Jaden Taylor in overtime versus Oakland. I've talked about this game quite a bit because it's up to this point kind of the signature game for for NC State, when it comes to, like, survive in advance of this year's tourney. Bunch of the other games, I mean, it wasn't really surviving in advance. It was like building a lead and then just winning.
Yeah, it's just okay.
Against Oakland, they had to survive in advance. They were the better team for, I believe, most of especially the second half. And then Oakland closed it and forced overtime. And when you go into overtime, and it felt very much like whoever wins this game is going to have the hearts of the country.
Yep.
Like, it was Love and Basketball style. Like, let's play for what? Your heart. Like, right? It was let's play for the hearts of the country on the line. And they went into overtime, and it was 72-75. NC State was up, and it did feel like 1-3, 1-1, kind of one more big bucket might put it out of reach for Oakland. And then Jaden Taylor knocked down the shot. I think that's significant because Jaden Taylor's a bench player, right? He comes off the bench. He has started at times this year due to injury.
He's played a ton this season.
And he's got 20-point games. But when it's in the air and DJ Horn takes that shot, feels like it's going in. When DJ Burns gets it on the block, feels like it's going in. When there's a lob thrown towards Mo Diarra, feels like it's going in.
When we see Michael O'Connell take those shots,
Now
definitely feels like it's going in.
Jaden Taylor felt more like he's a running back that's good between the 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's gonna get you there, but then the other guys kind of have finished it off. The fact that he had a chance to put the dagger in and was like, haha, finally, drilled it. It's big for NC State, and it goes back to what I was saying about Middlebrooks. You're going to need everybody, and everybody has seemed perfectly prepared for the moments when they're called upon. There were times where Jaden Taylor missed a jumper, and I said to my wife who I was watching the show with, or watching the game with, like, ooh, not sure he's the one you want taking that shot. Then they get the offensive rebound and kick it back to him in the corner, and he knocks it down. And I'm like, you know what? Never mind. He is exactly the person you want taking that shot.
Exactly.
Like I said. But that was a very, very big one, and I think that captured the hearts of America, and obviously State is feeding off of that love.
Made a 2-point game a 5-point game.
And then they ended up, it was 78, 79 to 70 by, a couple shots later, and it was over, and they survived and advanced. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
NC State is the 2024 ACC Men's Basketball Champion.
Triple zeros is the moment for this one. Mm-hmm. Triple zeros in the ACC Championship, where NC State beat North Carolina, a team that had beaten them twice already this season, a team that is, 23 miles away, a team that is their rival.
Hey, your biggest rival. And
you won in a way, again, that didn't feel flukish. It didn't feel like anyone could look at you and go, it's not like what every Houston fan is saying to Duke right now, like, oh, if she didn't get hurt, it would have been different. Like, there was none of that, right? There wasn't a horrendous call against UNC at the end. It was just NC State in the biggest game of the ACC schedule, the ACC Championship, end of the tournament, 5 games in 5 days, when everyone was waiting on their fatigue to set in, their legs to get out from under them. They just beat North Carolina, who at the time was one of the top 3 teams in the country. Just straight up and down beat them. Ended up being a 1 seed. When that clock struck 0-0, it did feel like everyone looked around kind of like, oh my gosh, they pulled it off. It's not they're making a run, it's they made the run. This was it. No one had ever even played 5 games in 5 days in the ACC tournament. They won 5 games in 5 days in the ACC tournament. There was we were there on Tuesday, the ACC tournament. You know what we said after every win Tuesday? Oh, we weren't there Tuesday, we were there Wednesday. But you know what we said after every game Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? We said it on air. I bet you there's a bunch of NC State fans booking hotels and driving down for tomorrow's game, right? I bet you there's a bunch of NC State fans canceling some plans and right, making a Friday trip down to D.C. And do you know what is the dirty little truth about that?
What's that?
Those fans weren't already there, right? They didn't believe in them until okay, well, if they make it to Thursday, we'll go watch them play. All right, if they make it to Friday, we'll cancel our plans and go watch them play. All right, they made it to Saturday. I guess they must be legit. We'll go watch them play. Even your own fans, wasn't a lot of belief in that gym on Tuesday when they're down 12 to Louisville. The UNC win was very much a culmination of, oh my gosh, they actually pulled it off. It was also the first time they could take their foot off the gas for even a couple minutes and look around, right? They could take it in. Because before that, it was game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you win, great. Game at 6 o'clock the next night, great, you win. Game at 5 o'clock the next night, great, you win. Game at 8 o'clock the next night, whatever the times were, they didn't have a chance to look around, right? If you look around, you were late to getting ready for the next game. So when that hit 0-0, it was a very, very cool moment. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Horn to the line, down the lane, beats Burns underneath, puts it up, good, the foul. 2 more for Burns. He's got 28 points now.
I was having this conversation. I had a part with you, Dennis.
Yeah.
I had a part with Paul, who hosts Next Up every morning here on 99.9 The Fan, 9 to 10. He's our program director. It seems like everybody had a little bit different moment where they thought State had it. You mentioned it was the O'Connell three, right?
It was the O'Connell three coupled with the Burns layup because of the Mark Mitchell foul on Ben Middlebrooks where about 3 people hit the floor. To me, that 5-point possession, to me, I think truly was the dagger.
I forget what Paul's was, but he said people were telling him when Filipowski fouled out is when state fans went, oh, we got this, right? They're going to have to play a guy that they don't play often. Oh, this is it. I remember a specific baseline spin by DJ Burns where I said, oh, this game is over because State was up, 8 or 10 points. And I realized they could not stop Burns. And I was like, every time they cut it to 6, every time Duke cuts it to 6, State's going to go to Burns on the block, and it's immediately automatically going to be 8. And I was like, I just don't know how they get closer. I don't know how they close this gap with how much time's left. So everybody kind of had their own time. The Burns and one where it felt like he was cherry picking a little bit. Like he was like, I don't have to get back on. And then he got it ahead of the pack. He took a dribble. He went to scoop it up. Ahead of the pack was not a pun. Ahead of the group, put it up, got fouled, finished it, and big tree fall hard. DJ Burns ended up on his back, kind of pumping himself up, doing the little shimmy on the ground. That moment, I think there was 2 minutes left. That play is when I think everybody, there was no holdovers left going, I don't think State's going to win this one. That was when, whether you thought it was when Filipowski fouled out, the O'Connell three, the layup that I saw, whenever you made the switch, everybody made the switch. That was the nail in the coffin, if you will. The Burns and one. And from that point on, it was kind of a celebration.
Yeah, for a few minutes.
I don't want to say the guys were out there not focused. They were still, trying to execute well and get buckets. And for some reason, Duke stopped guarding Middlebrooks under the bucket, and they just had a bunch of wide open layups, which I thought was interesting that Middlebrooks never went for the dunk after, the Syracuse game when he tried to dunk it and it didn't go in, and he was hanging on the rim doing the monkey bars thing and then trying to dunk it, and he got called for the tech. He was like, I'll just lay these up. I'm wide open. I'll just lay it up. Yeah. Lesson learned, doink. But there was laughter during every dead ball. There was high fives on the bench. There was good vibes on the bench. They started doing the offense-defense subs with DJ Burns. The and one against Duke. That's what punched their ticket to the Final Four fully and completely. And actually, you know what I'll say? That's what made me send the tweet, right? When you start, when you cover a team and you start to see a monumental victory, you start, rough drafting a couple. Yeah. Here's what I want to say when the win happens, right? Here's survive in advance. No, survive, thrive in advance. Yeah, okay. And this is a DJ Burns magic, right? You start writing it all out, but the one thing you don't want to do is send the dramatic, oh my goodness, they won tweet. And then 10 minutes later, after retweeting, be like, this was too early. Never mind. Sorry.
Freezing cold takes already got you.
Take it back. The and one by DJ Burns was when you pull your phone out and you have it in draft and you're just like, send. This one's not coming back. This one won't hurt me. And of course it didn't.
I think it was actually after that layup was when our boss, Paul, called me. It's like, so yeah, you're going to go to Phoenix. I was like, okay, got it. The game wasn't even over yet.
It was the final nail in the coffin. That's the only way to describe it. And lastly, number one. These are the starting 5 best moments of the ACC and NCAA tournament runs for NC State thus far. Number 1.
O'Connell with 1 second. Left wing 3 on the way. Banks it in! He got it! I don't believe it! It's good!
Michael O'Connell's shot against UVA and everything that went into it. An 87% free throw shooter, whatever it was, missing the free throw necessary to give NC State the ball down 3 with 5 seconds left, having to drive the length of the court, putting up a 3 from the left extended wing, banking it and rattling it in. It was a bank that wasn't even like doom. It was like doom. Brrr, it was a unpredictable, improbable shot that needed to happen for any of this run to take place. Now I want to talk about this, right? And the reason why is because, and rightfully so, it's not an untrue statement at all. At every step that this NC State run becomes more and more magical, right? Another win, another star-making performance, another DJ Burns NIL deal, another contract valuation, a contract incentive hit by Kevin Keatts. Every time one of these happens, somebody goes on Twitter, posts a video of the shot by Michael O'Connell against UVA, and reminds everybody that none of this happens without that shot going in. Right? You could easily argue like multiple, if not dozens, of life trajectories have been changed by that, right? Kevin Keatts, his job status, his job security, different, which obviously changes a lot of the players in the transfer portal era. He leaves, who goes, who stays, all those things. The players, right? I mean, the most obvious way is DJ Burns' bank account. These NIL deals don't happen. DJ Horn becomes this, like, all of this legitimately changes. And on top of that, maybe UVA isn't a play-in team, right? So now they're in the first round. Maybe things go differently for them. Maybe who's Golke, Jack Golke of Oakland, whoever they play in the second round is an NC State. They win. Jack Golke is even more famous. He's the DJ Burns of the tournament. Like, lives changed because of that shot. I get it. I agree with it. There's no arguing it. Yes. But I also want to say this. Teams get lucky in games all the time. It's what you do with the opportunity, right? Teams win conference championships on fluke buzzer beaters, baseball passes 80 feet away. It's what you do once you get to the next round, once you get to the next. Michael O'Connell's shot is great. It is improbable. It is unlikely. It'll go down in history. That shot did not beat UNC in the championship. Right? The points don't carry over. The vibes don't carry over. NC State still had to go out and do that. They were given an opportunity, right? But they had to take advantage of it.
That shot only got you to overtime. Didn't win you the game. It only got you a chance to play more.
You had to win in overtime.
That night.
And it has not won you a single game in the NCAA tournament, right? Like every team along the way has those moments where you're like, geez, lucky it went that way. But you still have to take advantage of it, right? It's winning the coin toss. It's somebody dropping an interception. It's a ball tailing just foul because of a wind gust in baseball. It's like, yeah, you got lucky there. Guess what? That's a foul ball. The pitcher still has to make a good pitch on the next throw. So I'm not one to discredit anything State has done because Michael O'Connell's shot was improbable. I'm simply saying Michael O'Connell's shot was improbable, man. The chances of it are low. But it went in. And I'll add this. You had to be within 3. Right? You couldn't have mailed it in. You couldn't be, if you're down 6 in that situation, who cares if they mix the free throw? Right? You give credit where it's due. Understand part of the randomness of college sports. Understand part of the randomness of sports in general. But also recognize that Michael O'Connell's shot is not the reason they're in the Final Four. It's one of the many reasons they're in the Final Four. Because, while it's true to say, hey, if this shot doesn't go in, if UVA doesn't miss those free throws, then NC State is not doing this, and it's, all of this doesn't happen. But you know what else is true? If DJ Burns doesn't become unstoppable on the post through multiple weeks, they're not even playing against UVA, right? If they don't have the mental grit and will to come back, even though they're down 12 in what feels like a lost season of week 1, they don't even have a chance to hit the shot against UVA. So, or in game 1 of the ACC tournament, not week 1. It's the beauty of sports, man. It's not all predictable. It's why coaches say control what you can control. Everything else, you just got to react. And NC State has been the best team at reacting to the positive breaks they've gotten. The best at it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And I want to tell you about my partners over at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR. It's now live in North Carolina. The wait is over, so you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, that's TIMD, and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. I use it to keep in touch with buddies from a long time ago, right? Somebody just sent in, there's a player in the women's tourney who's over-under on three-pointers made is 5.5, and he was saying, like, why in the world are we not on this? Now, we might both get on that bet, perhaps, if I look at it and I like it after the show. And guess what? That's a way we stay close. We'll just be texting each other about it, reminding each other, and getting excited or disappointed together. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD, that's TIMD, and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD, TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. Well, we also need contestants for the numbers game. We had a live in-person numbers game on Friday. It was a good time out there at Carolina Ale House in Cary.
It's a lot different when that microphone's in front of your face.
Both contestants, you could tell as soon as they heard that ticking in their headset, was like,
Yep.
And my favorite part was Matthew, who went first. Was like, oh man, you get the headset on, you get real nervous, and then when the next person was going, he was behind me, not on air, no headset, no microphone, leaning in, going, I got both of these for the next person, and I'm going like, yep, that's how it works. Mm-hmm. Driving in your car, you listen to the numbers game, I got them all. Get on the phone, 7. It's no. So today on the line, we have a $25 gift card to Salt and Lime in Cary. Salt and Lime Experience, the coastal cuisine of Baja California. Always great food using fresh ingredients daily. Fun for the whole family. Visit both Raleigh location, Falls of Noose Road and Grove Barton. Also online at saltandlimecabo.com. $25 gift card to Salt and Lime in Cary on the line. When we come back, if you want to play, give us a call, 919-860-5326. 2 contestants. We need 2 of them. 919-860-5326. Call in now to play. Numbers game coming up next.
Bring on the madness.
Final score, 76-64. The Wolfpack beats Duke. You can light up the bell tower red. The Pack is back in the national semifinals for the first time since 1983. NC State beats Duke for the second time in the month of March, this time for a trip to the Final Four. Incredible.
College basketball tournament action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, Your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mitchell Heating and Cooling, we do the job right every time.
I'm Drake May, quarterback at UNC. Trust the team at Mitchell Heating and Cooling for your HVAC needs. Together we win. Call Mitchell Heating and Cooling today.
Contact us now at mitchellhvac.com or 919-556-5069. Train. It's hard to stop a train.
The best solutions every time.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. This is the week, folks. They're giving away a motorcycle. That's right, the Law Tigers, Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes. They've all teamed up to give the Ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It's given away, or it's being given away, I should say, this Friday, April 5th, at PNC Arena, at the game. Here's your chance. Do it now. Go to caniacsbike.com. Simple as that. Go to caniacsbike.com. Last chance to enter to win. Go to caniacsbike.com to win this custom-painted beauty of a bike. Again, it is a brand-new 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It is absolutely gorgeous bike. And when you win, let me know. Hit me up at the Fan Rookie. That way you and I can go on a ride together. You'll be on that beautiful Softail motorcycle. I'll be on my own bike. We're not going to ride the same bike together at the same time. No. We're going to go on a ride together for sure. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. The prize today, $25 gift card to Salt and Lime in Cary. The contestants today are Kathy in Cary and Robert in Raleigh. We always ask a question to see who gets to go first. We pick our favorite answer. We'll start with Kathy in Cary. Kathy, all day we've opened up the phone lines for your reactions to NC State making the Final Four. So we'll open with that. What is your reaction to NC State, men and women, making the Final Four?
Oh, I'm just excited about it. I think it's great that both the men and the women have made the Final Four.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Kathy. We'll go to Robert and Raleigh. Robert, same question to you. What's your reaction to the state run to the Final Four?
I mean, I'm a son of a Tar Heel grad, and I'm a Pirate grad, but I'm married into State fans, so 50-50.
All right. I'm gonna lean with Kathy for the optimism, but I respect Robert pretty much name dropping like half the schools in the area.
Hey, I respect it.
So do I.
I respect it.
50-50. It's an honest answer. I just like Cary's a bit better, or Kathy's a bit better. She's in Cary. So Kathy, you get to go first. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Let me go ahead and bring up the file here to make sure we are good to go. The numbers game is very simple. I will give you 4 categories to choose from, and they are, for today, NFL alliteration. Those are all players who have a name that begins and first name and last name with the same letter. NFL take the L, all players with last names that begin with L. MLB opening day again, which is Major League Baseball players. And NHL Canes and Whalers only. Which of those categories sticks out to you?
NHL Canes and Whalers only.
All right. The way this works, I will give you the team and the player. That includes the team, even though we know what team this is because of the category. Just keep it even with the other categories. Give me the jersey number as soon as you can. And you have 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you'd like it. Any questions before we get started?
No, I'm ready.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jacob Slavin, Carolina Hurricanes.
74.
Correct. Pat Verbeek, Hartford Whalers.
Pat Verbeek, pass.
Ryan Dzingel, Carolina Hurricanes.
59.
Incorrect. Warren Fogle, Carolina Hurricanes.
16.
Incorrect. Pat Verbeek, Hartford Whalers.
25.
Incorrect. Ryan Dzingel, Carolina Hurricanes.
56.
Incorrect. Warren Fogle, Carolina Hurricanes.
12.
Oh, you were getting closer. You got Slavin with 74. Pat Verbeek with the Whalers were number 16. Ryan Dzingel with the Hurricanes were number 18. And Fogle, when he was on the Hurricanes, were number 13. So you said a couple teens. You were in the mix, but didn't quite get them.
Okay.
All right, sit on the line. You have one. A tie does go to you by way of going first. We'll see if it holds up. That brings us to Robert and Raleigh. Robert, are you there?
I am.
All right, the remaining categories are NFL alliteration, NFL take the L, and MLB opening day.
We'll do alliteration, NFL.
All right, these are all NFL players whose first and last names start with the same letter. I will give you the name and the team. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can because you only have 30 seconds on the clock, and you do have one pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
Nope, let's do it.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Steve Smith, Carolina Panthers.
88.
Incorrect. Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings.
16.
Incorrect. Steve Smith, Carolina Panthers.
89.
Correct. Marcus Mariota, Tennessee Titans.
7.
Incorrect. Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings.
80.
Incorrect. Marcus Mariota, Tennessee Titans.
8.
Correct. Calais Campbell, Arizona Cardinals.
Pass.
Wade Wilson, Minnesota Vikings.
42.
Incorrect. Steve Smith, you got it, 89. Marcus Mariota, 8. You got it. I can't say it was the prettiest run we've ever had. You took multiple shots, but a win is a win. Congratulations, Robert.
I'm a hockey fan, so I kind of got my hand forced.
Okay. All right. So you were waiting on that. Either way, you won. So your hand was forced, and you won the pot anyway. Justin Jefferson wore number 18, or wears number 18 for the Vikings. Calais Campbell wears number 93, or I should say wore number 93 for the Cardinals. And Wade Wilson with the Vikings, number 11. And then you got the other two. You struggled through it. Again, you said you were kind of playing an away game on somebody else's turf, but you got the win anyway. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
All right, sit on the line. Dennis will get the info he needs from you to make sure you can get your gift card.
I would have accepted Deadpool for Wade Wilson.
Oh, what if we said that? Red and black. Could have worked. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The NC State women's basketball team needs some shine here. There's so much going on in sports. I was actually wondering this, if even the fact that the men are going to be in the Final Four, anybody that's taking off a little bit of work or cashing in the credit card points for flights and going to a game, you almost wish the NC State women and men played like a week apart so the diehard fans could kind of go to both or do the dream week and see them both because the State women are in the Final Four for the first time in decades as well. Isaiah James knocked down 7 of 9 3-point attempts against Texas in a star performance to help punch their ticket to the Final Four. And the crazy part is she actually did that on a court that had 2 different length 3-point lines. Somehow, some way, somebody needed to notice that the 3-point lines were different lengths before game day. Literally, the 3-point line on one end was 9 inches shorter than it should have been, and nobody noticed till game day. That, to me, right there, should put the most outlandish chip on the shoulder of the women who won that game, because you're like, you can't even get the court right. We're out here trying to basically live out our dreams, and we're here playing on a makeshift court. Right? It's like I have a dartboard in my garage, and I kind of measured it pretty close out for the regulation. Then I threw a piece of tape on the ground. Hey, that's where your foot has to be when we're playing our fun games between friends. That tape, about as accurate as the three-point line in an Elite Eight women's basketball game. How in the world does that make sense? The NCAA confirmed in a statement at halftime that Sunday's regional final was played on a court with three-point lines of different distances at the top of the key, and Isaiah James still knocked down 7 of 9. Which, you know what's funny, Dennis? The percentage was like one of the lines was regulation. That's where it was supposed to be. The other was actually shorter, right? It was closer to the basket. The teams shooting on the longer version shot better. Which that's like like a thing about athletes. Even though the shots on one end were closer, they shot better from the version where they practice all the time. Like right at the three-point line, don't put your toe over the line. They actually shot better on the longer shot because it's what they practice. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, because it's about what you're used to. Muscle memory.
Must have just been all back iron from the short side.
Yeah, because you're
all
thinking,
back iron.
All right, I'm like this far from the line. Yep. This is how much power and everything I got to put into it. Why am I clanking off the back of the rim?
It's like every once in a while you see a high school like put the hurdles on the wrong notch on the track.
Yeah.
And everybody just gets clipped, right?
They're all tripping.
They're all jumping like 2 feet too early, and it's just like, uh-oh. It's kind of the same thing. Athletes are just wired funny. I think the sports science of it all is fascinating. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. Hey, guess what? It's springtime, it's wedding season, so guess what? Hey, brides and grooms, are you looking for that unforgettable way to celebrate your last shot before tying the knot? Head to Deep River Sporting Clays. Bring your wedding party for an adrenaline-pumping day of clay target shooting in that stunning natural setting just outside of Sanford. Their expert staff is going to guide you through an exciting and safe experience with everything that you need. Then you can kick back in their beautiful outdoor pavilions where they can provide delicious food and drink while you relax with your closest friends. It really is a great spot for a bachelor or bachelorette party, and it's a one day that you'll remember at Deep River Sporting Clays. So book today. Head over to deepriversportingclays.com. Again, go to deepriversportingclays.com. Let the adventure begin. They have a lot to offer over at Deep River Sporting Clays. Check them out. Again, whether it's a bachelor or bachelorette party, maybe even a birthday, anniversary, you name it, deepriversportingclays.com. Again, deepriversportingclays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. On this celebratory day for NC State, they made the Final Four, both men's and women's. We keep the phone lines open for one more segment. Heister Automotive Group Hotline. If you have a take you want to contribute, you have a comment, you have a story you want to contribute to the NC State conversation, 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Heister Automotive Group Hotline open. Coming up next.
This is Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending and Cary, with two exciting announcements. Back in 1950, my father and uncle moved to Detroit and opened Miller Brothers Realty, a business they ran for the next 50 years. Fast forward to 1996, and I moved my family to Raleigh and opened D&J Mortgage, a company I'd named after my children. And today I'm happy to announce my sons Daniel and Justin will be leading Miller Lending as we head towards 100 years in real estate and lending, all the while following the one basic principle I learned growing up in that environment. Always treat your customer as you'd want to be treated yourself. Now, while Miller Lending has long been associated with our popular no closing cost program, I'm also excited to announce the opening of our purchase money division with a strong emphasis toward helping first-time homebuyers navigate the mortgage process. So whether you're buying a new home or simply refinancing the home you're in, call Miller Lending and experience the benefit of working with a locally owned family business. In Cary, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday. The very first Tuesday.
New scratch-off tickets are available on the first Tuesday of every month.
Announcer said first Tuesday.
Brand new scratch-offs, brand new fun. Now from the North Carolina Education Lottery. every first Tuesday. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. What a great time for sports. The College Hoops Tournament in hockey is in the home stretch. I call games in Seattle and around the country, but when I'm back in the Triangle, I head right to Buffalo Brothers. Make sure you visit Buffalo Brothers for all the big games. Always great specials, like half-price appetizers Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. Dine in, carry out at all 5 Triangle locations and online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
BetMGM has an unreal deal for sports fans in North Carolina. You can turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first wager. Easily stretch your sports betting excitement to the absolute max. Simply download the BetMGM app and sign up using code Victoria150. Then place a $5 wager on any of your favorite sports. You'll receive $150 in bonus bets instantly regardless of your wager's outcome. And if you think the action-packed fun stops there, the King of Sportsbooks has plenty of surprises in store. Check out daily promotions, nail-biting same-game parlays, live bets, and so much more. Download the app in North Carolina today and use code Victoria150 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly from your first wager. Because you're not just playing with any ordinary online gaming site, you're playing with the King of Sportsbooks. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, North Carolina only. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We've had fun hearing from you throughout the show. We've opened up the phone lines, given NC State fans and actually a decent amount of fans of other teams in the Triangle to call in and say their appreciation for NC State making the Final Four.
That's a pretty common thing. Even just people I've encountered to in person. Just like, you know what? People will say, I'm a Carolina fan, but this is so fun to watch and so fun to experience, to see how the nation is being captivated by a team right here in our area.
I'm hearing almost some like, I wish I could hate this team.
Yeah.
Like I want to not root. They're my rival. I want to not root for them, but they're just so darn plucky. They're so darn likable and good and playing well and talented. So it's become an interesting deal there. Let's go back to the phone lines, though. I want to get your last words, your last thoughts on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. We have Pat in Durham up next. Pat, thank you for calling in. What's your thought on State making the Final Four?
Oh, man, it's amazing. And I became a Pack fan back in 1974. I was moving into College Manor across from UNCW, and they were playing UCLA, and they won. And a guy across the courtyard came out as either in boxer shorts or a swim trunk. That's all he had on was yelling. And I said, that's my team. So, but
so was there any thought of like, I think I get to be the swim trunks guy this time?
If they win,
if they all right, we're planning it. I like it.
Yeah, and I have some, and I heard on Sports Center. Unfortunately, being a Pac fan, you expect the worst. But the coach from Texas, the women's coach, he said only in college and women's college basketball would that line not be representative, and their lawyers met with the NCAA, and they have had to reschedule that game for Wednesday, and then the winner then gets to the Final Four.
Wait, I'm sorry.
The women's game?
Yeah.
Against Texas?
Yep.
The Texas lawyers went to the NCAA, and they rescheduled the game.
Oh, okay.
And they want to disqualify it.
So
now they have to replay the game Wednesday, and then the winner goes to the Final Four.
We will. I believe you are April Foolsing me, but we will look into it. And
all I got to say is touche.
All right. Appreciate the effort. Thank you very much.
Good day.
And yours was much better than my attempt earlier. There was I'll give it to him. He had me for like 4.5 seconds.
Oh, he got you.
He didn't. But what he had me in wasn't that I thought it was actually happening. What he had me was, how am I going to get this guy? Like how am I going to get him off the air without just being like, dude, that's wrong. Like I was like, all right, we'll have Dennis look into it, and then, but when he wouldn't stop talking, I had to just say, I believe you're April Foolsing me.
He had you.
You just don't want it like bad information passed across your show. So I was going like, this isn't right, and he's talking. But then I realized he was in on the joke. I thought he fell for the joke. Either way, the Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hopefully this next caller, who do we have here? Lonnie and Gardner isn't like, oh man, I had my April Fool's joke. Lonnie and Gardner, thank you for calling in on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. What's your addition to our conversation on State making the Final Four?
Just very enjoyable and amazing thing. I was 24 years old back in '83. Watched it on a black and white TV at home with my children. So, but this has been an incredible postseason run, and I just hope they keep going on. They're 9.5-point dogs to Purdue, but we have to wait and see. It seems like they're riding the tide.
If they lost the first time they were underdogs, it would have been a short run for them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they've been underdog each time, but that word underdog sometimes just don't sit right. You know.
I
think it's
team
like
with a chip on their shoulder.
They are very committed to what they're doing right now.
There you go. Lonnie, I appreciate it, and hopefully you get to watch the game in a similar situation, right? With surrounded by family.
No, I'm an old man now. I'm going to watch it on the television again.
There you go. Some things change, some things stay the same.
And may I give you a personal note?
Okay.
Since you came to the area and everything, the first 2 weeks I wasn't real impressed. But Durham, if you ain't, I will have to say I love listening to you all every evening. I think you've done a great job. You're a great addition to the community.
Thank you very much, Lonnie. That's very appreciative. And
have a great evening.
You too. You know what I like about that compliment? You mix in an insult, it makes it feel more legit, right? It makes it feel more authentic. You're not blowing smoke when you're like, you know what? Didn't like you at first, but now you've turned me around. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll take. Do we have him? Okay, he was just saying goodbye to Lonnie. He wasn't sure.
Just saying bye to Lonnie.
Hey, appreciate it all. And matter of fact, that appreciate word is a word I want to stick on real quick. State fans, the reason why we opened up the phone lines for this entire show and wanted to just have the positive stories and that this is what I was doing in '83 and this is what I was doing now is because this run should be appreciated, right? If there is a fan base that understands it, 41 years is a long time. There's no guarantee this will happen again in our lifetimes. You hope it does. You hope it turns something over. You hope it connects and you can build off of it. And right, all these transfers that are looking for places are like, hey, you go there, you can win a national championship. You hope it does. But guess what? In 1983, it probably felt like it was the beginning of something too. Right? In 1983, or maybe not the beginning, but the middle of something that would continue. It's appreciate it, man. I talk about appreciating greatness, appreciate the fun, appreciate the rollout, appreciate the lead up. We're going to be cranking out Pack Therapy podcasts. We're going to be cranking out content on State all week here on 99.9 The Fan. Dennis and Adam Gold will be going to where is it? It's Phoenix. Phoenix. They'll be going out to Arizona, the desert, to cover it and listen to it all, man. Like drink it all in. Your team is one of the 4 remaining. That's impressive. And if you go back to where they were 20 days ago to where they are now, it's even more impressive. Drink it in. Enjoy it. And enjoy this message from Dennis Cox.
By the way, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Underdog Sportsbook. Speaking about enjoying sports, I know a lot of people, when they're watching games, enjoy not only just watching them, but, hey, enjoy having a little extra incentive when it comes to the games. Underdog Sportsbook has given you a sportsbook app, you the sports fan, a simple, fresh experience with straightforward, easy-to-follow interface, easy-to-follow language, and a design that is as easy as it is clean and appealing. And that's the one thing I love about Underdog. When I'm going in there and I'm looking at basketball bets that I can make, whether it's NBA or college basketball, if your favorite basketball team is still playing, well, guess what? Underdog's got you covered, fam. Or maybe even it's Major League Baseball. I got tons of games going on night in and night out. Well, guess what? You can do your parlays. You can do your props. You can do your money lines. You name it, Underdog Sportsbook has got you covered. And that's one of the reasons why I like using it. It's simple and easy to use. Download the Underdog Sportsbook app on iOS or Android. Sign up with the promo code Dennis and use your first bet mulligan, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus funds if your first bet loses. That's Underdog Sportsbook, promo code Dennis. Must be 21 plus to gamble and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov or call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply and can be found in the Underdog Sportsbook app.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close, but don't fret. Overdrive coming up next with our conversation from earlier regarding NC State's run. It's been a good day. We enjoyed hearing from a lot of you. Maybe we'll do it again later this week. The Drive again tomorrow at 3. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
47 seconds left in overtime. Jarvis now his feet. Dropper inches, he scores! Inches in overtime, and the Canes win it 3-2!
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold. Your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle